Crawford fight. We didn't get a contract until, and it was just kind of like a regular contract. It wasn't nothing. It was initial proposal. It wasn't even a contract. It was a proposal, and Spence Crawford, the intentions of us fighting. Okay, so we going on the basically the negotiations of what a contract would look like before we actually got the actual contract. Al goes in, and a guy that I don't know, never represented me, not Crawford, have no whatsoever place in Team Crawford's representing me in that contract with no that I agreed to. So basically that was a standpoint of contract. So basically I'm talking to Al, I'm like, Al, come on, man, I don't even know this guy. I can't do that. And he's like, well, the guy is part of your team, whatnot. And, we going back and forth. I was a good dude, man. I was a, charming guy, He's a cool dude, I kind of like talking, but at the time, Spencer's our guy. Nah. So, of course, he's going to do his best for, his fighter, his guy. That's like, any other manager / advisor would do. He would do the best for his fighter. So, me and Al, we talk on the phone, I get advice from other guys in PBC. They tell me, be careful, make sure the deal is right. They tell me, make sure you don't get fucked. Just normal things from guys that's in they stable that I'm friends with. I honestly can say I'm friends with. So, we going on and on, and of course me and Al, we going back and forth about, the numbers. We're not going back and forth about anything else. We just going back and forth about the numbers. All in all, I have two companies, that reach out to me that, wanted to give me expense $25 million guaranteed. $25 million guaranteed up front. So a real guy like myself, I call Spence. Hey, bro, look, listen. You know what I mean? I got this company that's willing to give us $25 million a piece, guaranteed. What's up? What you gonna do? He like, $25 million. What about the back end? I'm like, dude, listen. If they make their money back, then we get 80-20. You know what I mean? It's simple math. I said, man, we got people still in the fight. They got the fire sticks. He laughed. He like, man, I got a fire stick too. I'm like, see? I'm like, man, ain't nobody really buying, pay-per-views no more. I said, man, we get this upfront money, and we good. It's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? But one thing about me and the difference between me and the difference between Spence is I'm really my own boss now, and he's not. He got to go through Al. He got to go through, his team and ask them if he can do certain things that I don't have to no more. Yeah, I might have had to when I was with Top Rank because I was signed to Top Rank and they was my promotional company. So, of course, I had to go to Top Rank and ask them to get me this fight or do this for me or do that for me because I was obligated to do certain things by their standard because I was signed to them. But now that I'm a free agent and I'm free to do whatever I want, I'm the one sitting at the table. I'm the one that's talking directly to these high individuals. Errol Spence not talking to Terrence Crawford about the fight. Errol Spence wasn't at the table. Errol Spence can't tell you or show you a contract that says Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. That he was there on the negotiations of. He can't do it. So he had to go back and ask Al for permission, if he can, take this big chunk of lump sum of money to fight Terrence Crawford, which he didn't call me back, so I proposed it to Al. I hit up Al. I'm like, Al, listen, man, I got this big hedge fund company out here, they claim they know you. Not one, but two. Not one, but two. Two companies willing to put 20 plus million in both of our pockets, guaranteed. Al tell me straight up, I'm not letting nobody touch this fight. Like, all right, cool. But I'm like, why? He like, why would you want to put a ceiling on yourself? Why you want to put a cap on yourself? I'm like, well, that's not putting a cap on myself. If this company is taking a risk, then, risk, higher risk, high reward. If that's the case, I can't seem to see a fight that's been doing millions, since Floyd and them. So, that was an altercation, I asked Al, I said, since this fight is dragging on with me and Spence.
All right, enough said, man. Enough said. Enough said from the innocence, the claiming the innocence of Terrence Crawford. Now Crawford playing the nice guy and he's claiming innocent. He's blaming the whole fucking thing on Al Heyman, really, and Errol Spence. And Crawford says that he's a big boss and Errol Spence is not a big boss. But, I mean, if Crawford was with Bob Arum, what the fuck you think Crawford was going to do? He's got to listen to Bob Arum. So at the end of the day, is Crawford sugarcoating this whole thing and acting like an innocent, nice guy? What did you hear about that? Now, the other thing that Crawford said is that he was talking to many other companies. And Crawford was acting like his own Al Heyman. So Crawford technically was acting like Al Heyman. And he went to reach out to many companies, and other companies were interested to put on the fight with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. But where the fuck did Crawford become that businessman and a boss that everybody's going to do business with Crawford when he doesn't even know who the fuck he's doing business with? So where the fuck can Crawford and Errol Spence leave Al Heyman and go do business with Crawford? I mean, is this guy really making any sense here? Is Terrence Crawford really making any sense? Because to me, it sounds like a bunch of cap. Crawford's trying to say that he likes Al Heyman. Al Heyman's a charming man. Yo, mic check, mic check. Can you hear me live, though? Or we're going to have to shut this down if the technical issues are still going on. Can you hear me, though? Are we live? Are we clear? Mic check. Somebody tell me if we're clear. All right, you can hear me. So look, my thing is this. Crawford said, right, that he was talking to many other companies. So Crawford wasn't that focused on doing the Al Heyman deal. He wanted to do a better deal for himself. So he had a contract. He was going back and forth on this contract, but it wasn't good enough for Terrence Crawford. So Crawford basically saying that he was trying to get a better contract than what Al Heyman was bringing to the table. So Terrence Crawford basically says, I'm a boss now. I'm the Al Heyman. And he's telling Errol Spence that come with me and I can get 25 million from another company. Now, just think about what he's saying there. That he wants Errol Spence to leave the man that does business for Errol Spence all the time. So now Errol Spence has got to trust Crawford, where Crawford doesn't even know these people that he's doing business with. But Crawford says, I've got this business on lockdown. I found two companies that want to pay 25 million. So at this time, Crawford sounds like either he's a businessman or did he really want the smoke? Because Crawford said that he went back and forth with Al Heyman and it was about a bit more money. Everything else was perfect. Just Terrence Crawford wanted a little bit more money. So for a little bit more money, Terrence Crawford was going around the world talking to many other companies. And obviously, you know that Terrence Crawford wasn't talking to those companies to fight Errol Spence. He was basically talking to those companies for himself. He don't care if he fights a YouTuber. He was basically trying to see what other opportunities were there for him. Now he knows, and you know, and I know, Errol Spence is not going to leave his comfort zone and his business with Al Heyman and go try and make a fight with another hedge fund and another way of promoting and putting this fight together when Crawford has never, ever done that business by himself ever before. Terence Crawford has never, ever went and done business by himself and he wants to take Errol Spence on the ride. So he's trying to get Errol Spence to do a whole new business deal. And Errol Spence told Crawford, just work it out with Al Heyman. And Al Heyman and Crawford were going back and forth from Crawford's mouth. But let me give a shout out to the people which has made it over here right now. We got Hayes in the building. We got Danny, Stephen 4722, EDP. What's happening, bruv? Bailey, Rider of the Storm, man. What's going on to my brethren? Rider of the Storm. Smash that like button. You know? Hayes, what's going on? John McSmith, mate. What's happening, bruv? Yes, man. Big shout to John McSmith. Yo, the one and only Punch Drunk Boxing in the motherfucking building, bro. We got Julio in the building here. So look, let's keep it moving, bruv. Terence Crawford basically wants to do a whole new business deal. And he wanted Errol Spence to leave Al Heyman and his business to make another deal with another company. So just because Terence Crawford wanted a little bit more money, you know. I'll send the link. Yo, Punch, jump onto the link, bro, as well. So look, Terence Crawford wanted to do a different business. So come on to the live, man. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Everybody needs to come onto the live then. Yes, Punch. What's happening, bro?
Rapstar Boxing Knowledge, the voice of the UK, London.
Yes, bruv. I just wanted to put a quick live up. You know, we've got a lot of people in the back coming in. Yeah, man.
You
What do you
missing
think
a
about?
point.
I haven't even finished. Yeah, but I haven't finished yet.
It's good that you didn't finish.
Go
It's good that you
bro.
didn't finish because you have to. You didn't say what Terrence Crawford actually said. He was just not. Remember, he said that he spoke to Al Heyman so they could work out this deal. He told Al Heyman about these people that he
Yeah, I
said
know.
that. So he was bringing Al Heyman along then.
But
He was
first he
bringing
tried to
Al.
bring Errol Spence along first.
Okay,
And he
of course.
said when Errol Spence didn't answer back to
Yeah,
do the business deal separately, he had to.
you're breaking up. You're breaking up. You're
Yeah,
breaking
but you
up,
know
Brad.
what I'm saying. But hear me now. You hear
Breaking
me?
up.
Do you hear me?
Robot
Do you hear me?
rap.
Oh, go on.
Yeah.
Why don't you? Robo Rap says that he was trying to speak to Spence first. Spence didn't want to speak without Al Heyman, and then he went back to Al Heyman.
Yeah. So
So
in
he
the end of
tried
the
to do a
day,
dirty
he still.
first. He tried to do dirty with Al Heyman first.
I don't think he was trying to do dirty for Al Heyman because he didn't. Not because he contacted Earl Spence. So he didn't trying to do no dirt on Al Heyman. He was trying to get this fight done and make Earl Spence understand to talk to your advisor and let him know that there's 20 million apiece for us. And then he couldn't get, so he went to Al Heyman himself to let Al Heyman on the deal. That's not Buck Crawford trying to do it all by himself. He's trying to bring them along to get the bag.
The problem is he's trying to bring other people along into a business where these guys are the ones who know their business. Terrence Crawford is not the A side. Crawford can't call the shots like that, bro.
Yeah,
Crawford ain't the man who's calling the shots like that, bro. It's all about a PBC. Al Heyman want to meet Crawford. Crawford's got to come for the ride. But my mic's fucked a little bit. So we got Max in the building and we got some guy called Luna. Show your face in the back. Yeah, go on, Max.
Yeah, what's up, fellas? I just wanted to hop on here real quick. You guys know I've been saying it for a while now. I'm a Bud fan. Shout out to Punch. Shout out, homie.
what's up, brother?
Yeah, I just, after seeing the video, I saw it on Punch's channel. I got to see it on Showbiz as well. I mean, it's kind of what I kind of thought in the original, right? Like, the dude, you know, it seems that, in my opinion, Al was being, you know, try to jerk Errol Spence out of, you know, this fight. I mean, Bud Crawford out of the fight. Kind of was like, hey, you know what I mean? Take what I give you, and it is what it is. And if people are mad that, you know, he's going to go get money to feed his family like he said, I think that's corny. You know what I mean? I think that's corny, and I think that it's unfortunate because it seems like Errol Spence wants to fight too, but he just can't do it because Al Heyman's in the way. Now, I remember Rick Glazier talking about it, and a lot of people were saying
but
that,
now
you know,
they're
he was
blaming Al Heyman. Now everybody's
blaming
Al Heyman.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, so it is what it is. But that's my point. I'll be listening, but
So Al Heyman can make 100 fights, but he can't make 101 all of a sudden because it's Terrence Crawford. Yeah. So Crawford doesn't have an ego. Crawford didn't turn around and just say that, oh, my business was okay, but I was trying to get a bit more money. Crawford didn't say that everything else in the business was good, but I was going back and forth for more money.
Yeah.
So basically, Crawford wanted more money too.
Yeah.
Crawford's not all about the smoke. Crawford's a businessman, proper good businessman now. He's a boss, and he wants to be a boss in the fight. And Al Heyman and Errol Spence ain't going to let him be the boss. How about that, Max? You know what you're going into, Max. You're already coming to Errol Spence's territory. You're a fucking B-side with one belt. Why are we talking like Terrence Crawford's the boss? He ain't no fucking boss. He played all of you guys. And Errol Spence playing everyone now because he's going to fight Keith Thurman. They both played us. How about that? But all right. But yeah, go on, Punch.
Nah, man, I can't contradict myself. In the summer, I did a video and I said that this fight, and I'm gonna put the video up on my channel again. I said that these fighters shouldn't accept nothing less than $20 million a piece.
Yeah.
Well, there was $20 million a piece for it. So I can't go back on my word on that and actually say if that was on the table and this is the biggest fight in the sport of boxing and it was a guarantee, Bud Crawford made sense. Bud Crawford makes sense to get this fight.
Yeah.
Let's also not forget that it was the Earl Spence that said that he answers to nobody when they met in 2018. Let's not forget that he said that he was the boss. He said he answers to nobody.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that part.
Yeah.
I'm all for these boxers getting the most amount of money for the biggest fight in the sport of boxing.
Well, let me tell you this then. Let me tell you this as a British hardcore boxing fan. Let me just say this. If we're all happy for the fighters to make the most money, yeah? Well, fuck this fight then, bro. I'm done with this fight. How about that, Punch?
Hey, you're a fan.
Hey, how about we just be fanboys for their money now and just be happy for their families now? How about we forget about what really means anything to us and the boxing fans? Fuck Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford's fight, bro. I don't want to watch it anymore. I'm done with this shit. Mediocre comedy. How about that? How about that? Yeah, fuck that shit. I'd rather watch Deontay Wilder now coming in from America, bro. Because Wilder's got heart. Wilder's ready to fight. These motherfuckers are all businessmen.
So why Anthony Joshua didn't get done?
Because Anthony Joshua has got wants his business too. Everybody's acting like they're businessmen now. So Terrence Crawford wants to be a boss. Let him be a boss. I'm happy for him. He got a big wife and a big family. And he need to feed them. Yeah, I mean that. He needs to feed his family, bro. So let me tell you, I want all of you to be happy for Terrence Crawford's bank account. Yeah? How about that? I want you guys to come here and talk about Terrence Crawford's bank account, how much he feeds his big wife and his fucking big family. Because let me tell you, I don't give a fuck. I want to see the fights. I'm tired of this shit, bro. Punch. These people acting like businessmen, blaming everybody and blaming this. They are not hungry anymore. They're not hungry, bro. I want to see the Conor Benz. Fuck it. Conor Benz more hungry. Give him some more clemidifine or whatever.
Cloverfield.
Yes, I want to see Conor Ben, Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence can go fuck themselves in this fight. I'm done with the businessmen. And you know what they're teaching? This is what they're teaching. The Conor Benz, the Virgil Ortiz, the Boots Ennis, is when you get to this position, bro, it's nothing to do with fighting. It's about get your business right.
It's done. That's why years ago, I said I'm just gonna watch the amateurs. That's why I became a fan of Thurman and Andrade and Russell, because of the amateurs. I abandoned professional boxing.
Yeah.
That's why people be like, yo, why are you a fan of these guys? Yeah, because of the Olympic trials, because of the amateurs, because of the Miso Andrade versus Charles Hatley and Keith Thurman versus Charles Hatley, the tournaments, the nationals, the Leo Santa Cruz versus Gary Russell Jr. in the nationals. That's why I became a fan again. So happens they became professionals.
Yeah, let's keep it moving though. Frank, how happy are you? How happy are you for Terrence Crawford's bank accounts?
Man, I heard you say it. I'm the same way. Fuck them both, dude. I ain't buying that shit. I ain't buying that shit. Fuck them. Fuck them both, man. Boxing's a joke. It really is, man. I mean, we talk about it, but it's always tongue in cheek. You can't take it serious, and I know a lot of people that stop following the sport because of the BS, and that's just the facts. It's a joke.
The only thing that I like about, one thing that I like about this is that I believe that Bud Crawford and what he said today could be the one to actually smoke Al Heyman out his closet. Because nobody went at Al Heyman like Bud Crawford today. No fighter. No fighter from the opposite, or no fighter that has worked with Al Heyman has ever talked about Al Heyman like this. He made Al Heyman look like a cheap car salesman, bro. Al Heyman better step up and talk. And I said, I don't want to hear no Sam Watson. I don't want to hear Steven Espinoza. I don't want to hear Tim Smith. I want to hear the man himself, Al Heyman. I don't even want to hear Errol Spence. I don't want to read his tweets. I want Al Heyman to step up. It's time for the whole boxing world to say we don't want to hear nobody else but Al Heyman, the man himself. That's it. No Floyd Mayweather, no Leonard Ellaby. Al Heyman, it's time for you to come out that motherfucking closet and speak.
Yeah, because you know why, Punch? Let me tell you something. It's easy for Crawford to speak about Al Heyman when the man don't speak for himself. It's easy for Crawford to say things about Al Heyman. Oh, the business wasn't great. The business, it was good. Everything else was good. You heard what he said. Everything else was good, but I was going back and forth with Al Heyman for the numbers. I wanted a bit more money. Basically, he wanted a bit more money. He wasn't getting the money, but Al Heyman said to him, "You're gonna make your fucking money on the back end." And he didn't have no faith in himself and Errol Spence that they can't do the numbers on pay-per-view that Terrence Crawford trying to get more money. My thing is, he's trying to downplay one of the most top guys in boxing, Punch. This geezer's made hundreds of fights. Are you telling me that he's going to take the blame when his track record shows that if you go see Al Heyman, he'd get you that fight? Now tell me if I'm wrong, Punch.
Yeah.
So why is Crawford the one only person that Al Heyman ain't that good for this fight? Why?
It's either you're going to hear after this, a bunch of Al Heyman fighters that used to work with him is going to say, you know what? Al Heyman wasn't this perfect. I'm telling you, it's time for Al Heyman to talk. Because you know what we're going to get tomorrow? Or we're going to get some couple of tweets by Errol Spence. I didn't want to read it. Don't tweet Errol Spence. You better man up and speak on what Bud Crawford said. Was you on the motherfucking table, you boss? You say you a boss, Earl. You say you're the truth. If you wasn't on the table, I don't want to talk to you either. I don't want to hear him. We want Al Heyman. That's the protest. We want Al Heyman to talk. We want Al Heyman.
My problem is you're blaming the man who made Deontay Wilder.
No. I'm not blaming. I'm not saying
no. I'm talking to the fans, not you.
Oh.
No. Because let me tell you the truth. I don't want to speak too much, but I know that your people around you do business with Al Heyman, Punch, and you've always spoke highly of Al Heyman. You even told me, I hope I can say this, that even a low-tier fighter, a fighter that no one knows, Al Heyman spoke to him on the phone just to boost him up. You said Al Heyman's passionate about his fighters.
Yeah. But look what, just like you said, the last line, he's passionate about his fighters. I'm not saying that I want Al Heyman.
Hey, I'm going to break the silence. I'm going to break this silence. No, I'm going to break this silence right now.
Wait, rap.
Everybody in the chat right now, Punch Drunk Boxing has heard Al Heyman's voice. And that's a fact. Punch has heard Al Heyman's voice. And he won't tell you, but I know about this, that Punch knows people who know Al Heyman. So Punch, tell us what you think about him.
He's about his fighter. He's going to do whatever it is for his fighter. Whatever it is for his fighter. He don't care about nobody else. Nothing outside of Al Heyman he cares about. He don't care about none of the boxing fans. He don't care about boxing itself. He don't care about what you want. He's only going to care the best interest of the bank account and the.
Punch, did you hear his voice? You told me you heard his voice. Did you hear his voice?
After the Malik Montgomery fight.
You actually heard Al Heyman. You heard that Al Heyman was there.
I was there. He congratulated Malik Montgomery after his title bout.
Hey, respect. So Al Heyman exists. He's not a ghost. He talks to his
He's
fighters.
not a ghost. He's not a ghost. He's real. He's real. And he cares about the fighters that he worked for, and he'll put you in position and stuff like that. But it's only the Al Heyman way. If it's not the Al Heyman way, it's the highway. If it ain't the Al Heyman, put it this way: if it's not the Al Heyman way, you on the shelf. But also, he'll let you go too. He ain't gonna hold you down either. But this is what I'm gonna say. I want Al Heyman to talk, not because I'm disagreeing or anything and stuff like that. It's time for him to speak for himself. That's what it is. It's time for him to speak. Because we can't have everybody just, you know what I'm saying, like.
Yeah, he's Machiavelli, bro. He's literally Machiavelli.
It's not even fair to them. It's not fair. Atlanta Ellaby look like an idiot out here, though. He does. But because he always speaking for another man. Floyd Mayweather's coming out saying this fight is not going to happen, this fight is not going to happen. And we're looking at Floyd Mayweather, oh, you know some shit, or you know some shit. Everybody's always speaking for him. It's time for him to speak for himself. It's time for him to get the questions, and he needs to answer the questions. For how many years everybody else is doing? That's what it is.
Let me give a shout out to the champ. The one and only, bro. Nonito Donaire in the building. Everybody give a big shout out to Nonito Donaire in the building.
Hey, what's up, champ?
Champ in the building, man. I'm going to send the link for Nonito Donaire and Rachel. They might have some insights. I'll be happy to hear it. But let's go to tip. Punch, you finish off and we go to others in the background.
Nah, keep going, Punch.
No, that's about it. It's really that it's time for Al to speak. And I know that he don't speak because it's none of our business. We're not no clients. The fans ain't the clients. We're not in the business of Al Heyman. I fully understand why. You know what I'm saying? It's like if my financial advisor ain't going to talk to anybody on the panel in the comment. He only care about, he might not even talk to my wife. He only cares about me. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. But now when you got Bud Crawford and these guys are speaking of you and you're in the middle of it and Earl Spence is leaking out audio and thinking of, and it has your name on it. Everything has your name on it, bro. So you gotta come out. You gotta make this right. Because now put it this way. I feel like I must speak for myself. I feel like I gotta be on Bud Crawford. I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt because at least he stepped up. Not even Earl Spence stepped up. He's tweeting, bro. Bud Crawford says, you know what? I'm gonna go live. I'm not gonna have a press conference. I ain't gonna give this shit to ESPN. You ain't gonna hear it from a source. You gonna hear it from me. The negotiations, we never hear somebody come out in public talking about the negotiations of Al Heyman because we heard that you cannot speak on the negotiations when you're doing the negotiation with Al Heyman. So Bud Crawford is being real, raw. I'm giving Bud Crawford the benefit of the doubt until these other motherfuckers steps up.
Yeah, and let me just say what the champ says. The champ says, Beyond Above Media says, I wonder how much money he thought he could secure for the fight. So maybe he wanted to secure more money for the fight.
But he said it. But he said 20 mil a piece.
Okay.
25 mil.
Let's go to, shall we go to someone else? Punch? Yeah, we moving on?
No, go. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Tip. Yeah, how's it going, Tip? How are you feeling today?
What's going on, guys? Everything's going good.
Good. What do you think about the Terrence Crawford breaking the silence?
It's kind of weird. I got a question for everybody though. Does this put the fight at jeopardy now?
I mean, the fight, yeah. Because Punch told me this the other day. He goes, when you do business like this and you go open air about Al Heyman and Errol Spence, he don't expect Errol Spence to do business with him again.
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
Yeah, like Errol Spence ain't gonna, the way that Terrence Crawford's coming out and talking about Al Heyman and Errol Spence probably ain't gonna do it. Al Heyman's gonna say, go fuck himself.
I think most people wouldn't want to do business with him again after this. Because
people ain't gonna want to do business with you, maybe.
You're leaking too much information.
And Terrence Crawford knows he's doing this.
I don't know.
He's not stupid. He's not stupid.
Rapstar could clarify a little bit more for this. He said he came to Al Heyman with the 25 mil guarantee from 2 hedge funds, right? But then he said Heyman's reply was, "Why put a ceiling on yourself?"
I believe
Like-
him 100%.
Like what is what he's saying? Heyman, I mean, Al Heyman can say he could possibly make more than the 25 mil guaranteed.
He said the 25 mil was guaranteed. He
Yeah.
said, what about the pay-per-view back end? And Bud Crawford was saying, man, basically saying, what the fuck you care about the pay-per-view back end? This is 25 million guaranteed. Let them get the fucking money if it is. That's what he's trying to say. Like, I would take the motherfucking deal too. 25 million. And he was expressing that, yo, come on, you know the pay-per-view, you know how it is, they're gonna rob it and stuff like that. He said that on the conversation that Earl Spence said that he got a fire stick too. So Bud Crawford said, you see, I'm taking that 25 mil guarantee. And he said, I'll take an 80-20 split on the pay-per-view. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm rocking. Look, I'm rocking with what Bud Crawford saying, because he came out, he's been transparent about the negotiation, the shit that we talk about that we don't know shit. The shit that we hear talk about every motherfucking day for a year or half the year about negotiations. None of Earl Spence ever came out. Al Heyman never came out. Bud Crawford never came out. And now that we get that transparency and we get the facts from that source, from one source that's in it, if we start saying, oh, no, we don't believe Bud, then what we saying in other words, that these fighters should have never been transparent with us.
All right, hey, that's respect, man. But let me just give you a few different theories over here. I say that Bud Crawford also could be playing sneaky, just trying to sugarcoat it because he knows how to speak to the fans now. Bud Crawford knows now Al Heyman will never speak. He knows that fight with Errol Spence is done. He tried to get the money that he wants. He couldn't get the maximum. He wants to be a boss now. And maybe Bud Crawford now is the businessman of this game and said, fuck this fight then. I'm going to go take this money with Black Prime. And let me tell everybody this. Crawford came out and all he spoke about was Errol Spence. He didn't even promote his own fight with David Avanesian. The man didn't even call David Avanesian. What is it? He's a bit embarrassed. After all that talk, he was just telling you why he's fighting David Avanesian. The reason why Crawford was telling you his stories is he's got to let you know and define why he's got to fight a David Avanesian fight. And at this point, he couldn't even say Black Prime properly.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, it took him like 12 times to say Black Prime. Like,
yeah, this guy did not promote his fight. He's the worst guy to promote Black Prime. Sorry to say, he don't have a personality. I don't see no one in England trying to buy this fight, bro.
But
I'll keep this real. Terrence Crawford right now has played such a smart card because who's got 10 million with Black Prime? He couldn't even call Black Prime's name. He didn't even promote the fight. Adrian Broner promoted Black Prime. Desmond Tutu, way better than this guy.
He was saying that.
Hey, listen, Terrence Crawford doing a lot of dancing. Hey, sorry. I think Terrence Crawford's doing a little bit of dancing too. He's more interested in this Evanesian $10 million he's getting. Right now, the way I look at it, he was sneaky about it too. Why didn't he promote that with good integrity? Why didn't he say, I'm fighting a good fight with David Avanesian, bro? He's dancing around.
Move.
Yeah, but let's be
1, 2. That's it.
And that's Terrence Crawford right there. Go on, bro.
Yeah, but let's be real. That when he announced that he's going live on 10 p.m., what we wanted to hear the David Avanesian, or we wanted to hear what happened in the negotiations. To be honest, I wasn't even looking forward to hear him promote the David Avanesian. I was looking forward to hear what happened in the negotiations. And I think most of the people was about what happened to the negotiations. So I actually tuned out after in the end because I just want to hear what happened with Al Heyman, Earl Spence, and what you notice is he didn't mention Steven Espinoza and Showtime. Also, if we add the audio and have Earl Spence and Steven Espinoza talking, it looked like Earl Spence was having a conversation with Steven Espinoza and him telling Steven Espinoza what's going on with the with the negotiations, meaning that maybe Steven Espinoza is not in great terms of Al Heyman. Why is he talking to Earl Spence about what's going on with the negotiations with Al Heyman and Bud? So it's telling me something here. It's telling us something here.
So work it out and let me know. But you know, we got your favorite friend. I don't know what he thinks about this Terrence Crawford situation. Terrence Crawford coming out on Instagram. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. He's gonna tell you his side of the story. There's two sides to the story, and let's hear Mirage's side to the story. Go on, Mirage.
I just heard Punch talking there. So did Crawford give his side of the story regarding negotiations?
Yo, talk to everybody else. Why you talking?
Go watch the video. Go watch the video.
Go watch the video then.
Watch the video.
No, there's a video where on his Instagram.
It's on YouTube now.
Yeah. YouTube, Instagram.
Okay, I'll watch it and then I'll come educate you guys on.
Yeah. Go watch it and then
break it down for you.
Yeah. Go and break it down. So look, my thing is this, right? Crawford did come out though, and fans always say that Crawford's quiet. Now that Crawford's come out, he didn't really promote Black Prime the way I expected it to be. He said Avenesian the tough fight and that's it. He was all about the Errol Spence negotiations and the Al Heyman situation with him going back and forth. He found another company. I mean, to me, at the end of the day, he was trying to explain everything but his fight. Now, Frank, do you think he did a good job for Black Prime and his fight, David Avenesian, bro?
No, because there's no way you can justify it. I mean,
Is that why?
Yeah, you can't justify any of this. There's no justification. You can try to justify anything, and I mean any crime. I mean, there's a lot of ugly in this world, and you can try to justify any of it. But sometimes there's just no justification for something like this. I mean, you can't go years saying you want something, and then when you're finally close to it, not take it. Now, yeah, the circumstances are the circumstances, and people are going to have their side of the story. But at this point, we have to, as fans of boxing, try to make justify boxing, and it's a joke right now. Everybody made boxing look bad. There's nobody that can be pointed as the hero or the savior, and if you do that, you're just not being honest. You're being biased if you try to point one guy as the right guy or one guy is not really to blame. What are you really doing? Don't you at some point you have to be intellectually honest and tell the truth? Because do you really think anybody's telling the truth? That's what I see. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of a book called Liar's Poker, but I think you guys should read that. And this is Liar's Poker. Everybody's lying.
Wow. So you think there was a lot of fibs in Terrence Crawford's statement today?
Well, yeah, it's like a divorce, right? What do you do in a divorce? You do your best to paint yourself as the best person and the other person as the most evil person in the world. And when people start to do that, you have to question their integrity, because nobody's ever 100% guilty or 100% innocence.
But sometimes you got to be really smart, because Frank, you got children in the middle. Now, today's children are the fans. We're the fans, yeah? So the children are in the middle. So you got to say it in a way that doesn't make... You can say it where you can be the one who looks good, but you also got to strategically say things.
Well, isn't that the story of Saul? Or what was the story of Saul with the woman? He posed that question to the woman, that if you really want the baby, I'm going to cut it in half, or some story like that, right? And the woman that it's real baby, she says, no, then let her have the baby. Like, somebody has to be the bigger person. And it doesn't look like anybody was willing to concede, because in negotiation, isn't that what you have to do? Sometimes you have to give a little and take a little. That's just how the real world works.
But I'm just saying, if we take that approach that everybody is lying, then everybody shouldn't speak. If he's gonna tell this in depth, like I'm not saying that believe him, but if we're going with okay, now he lying and stuff like that, then he should have never said anything.
But that's why I
We
said
can't.
everybody's lying. Like you and I, we can't get up here and be intellectually honest if we try to blame one person. That's just not being honest with yourself. And that's what I see going on. There's going to be hours and hours and channels of trying to blame somebody. You can go right now and look and see one channel trying to blame an entire other channel or person. That's just not being honest.
So look, if so, let's say what do we want to hear the other party say after this? What are we waiting for? If all right, Bud Crawford came out, said what he has to say. Now we want to hear who. Who do y'all want to hear, and where do you feel like Bud Crawford is lying about?
I guess you have no choice but to hear from Al Heyman himself.
If Errol Spencer says is a lie, there was never a 20 million guaranteed.
Well,
Let's
no,
say
I'm not saying that he's going out and strictly telling lies, but I'm just trying to explain, like in a divorce, if you have to take the stand, you're not going to incriminate yourself. You're going to paint yourself to be in the right. You're going to let a lot of things go that you know are the truth, but you're going to be advised not to talk about.
But guess what? I like that one. You know why I like that example? Because all right, let's say for my example, I went through child custody battle, right? It went to a point where I told the judge and I told everybody, and I told my lawyer to instruct my baby mother that if she lies, I'm going to sue her for defamation of character. And I made that clear. It's for the judge had to say it to her. Guess what? She never said anything else. Because right before she speaks, the judge will tell her what my attorney said. If you lie or try to defame my character, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to stop whatever is going on today. I'm going to sue you. So did I do this as a father? Did I do that as a father? Did I all this stuff? You can't lie because I got all the receipts. You know what I'm saying? So then after that, things are started going my way because even the judge understood, you know what I'm saying? All right, now this guy seems like he's telling the truth about his side. So Bud Crawford said a lot of shit that if he was lying, he could get sued for. Right?
And let me just say this though, Punch. You already know that Al Heyman's stature. People always talk bad about him, but you know that Al Heyman is one of the best businessmen when it comes to his clients in boxing, right?
His clients.
So, his clients, right?
Yeah.
So we know Al Heyman, yeah, who's a certified player in the game. No matter Bud Crawford's not getting the maximum amount he wants, but he's getting the fight for Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. Now, Bud wants more money. Bud wants more this, more that. We understand it, but the fight's there. Now, Bud might not be happy with exactly where he is with the fight, but he's got the fight in his hand. Now, Al Heyman, who's a true certified player, you think fucking Al Heyman needs to listen to Terrence Crawford like an immature boy trying to be a boss? Trying to tell him I got other companies? He said to him, shut the fuck up. This is what Al Heyman must have said to him, because Crawford said it himself. He said, Al Heyman, shut it down. Al Heyman must have told Crawford, don't talk to me.
Yeah, he said, I'm not letting anybody.
Simple. I'm the biggest guy in this sport. I've done Mayweather fights. You bringing another party trying to show me the business of boxing. You know what? If I was Al Heyman, I would have done this to Crawford. Crawford, speak to Sam Watson. Bang! Put the phone down on the motherfucker. I would have put the phone down and said, go speak to my fucking guy, Sam Watson. And he's no. Go speak to the twins.
Yeah, but doesn't this remind everybody?
You want
the twins, motherfucker. You don't.
So you want Bud Crawford to be a dummy. So you want Bud Crawford to be a
Heyman, bro.
So you want Bud Crawford to
Heyman, bro.
So you want Bud Crawford to be a dummy.
Yeah, he's a dummy to Al Heyman. He's a big dummy to Al Heyman. Because Crawford can't come with boss moves and tell Al Heyman he got the business now.
But
let's go to his people. When Al Heyman is the man who's going to make the fight, and he's going to secure the fight with guaranteed the way he's always done it. I'm not gonna listen to no fucking immature businessman like Crawford.
Yeah, but where he's gonna get the
I ain't doing
guarantee?
it. Well, I'm just saying, I ain't
I want to
listening to
ask Punch
Crawford.
something. If
Crawford's a
Punch
little
don't mind,
baby in a big fish, big pond. Crawford's a little tiny tadpole. I'm not listening to that man. But
I want to
anyway,
ask Punch something if he don't mind.
Yo,
I mean, because it's hard to determine the truth. Like we're trying to figure this out. But that's what I want to ask you is who do you think has told the biggest lie? Because I've heard that Bud asked for 22 million and that's not, he was being stubborn. And I've also heard that he was getting 0% and that he wasn't going to see the books. Now, is that a lie? Like, I mean,
think
instead of trying to find the truth, let's try to first see what's the biggest lie we've heard and has been disproved.
Oh, that is right. Because then they say they talked him down to from 22 to 15, and then 15 to 8, right?
There's that. People have said that. That could
this
be a
what
lie. Like I'm trying to figure out what's the biggest lie. What do
then
we
he
know
just
that is
he-
not true?
But
Period.
this is why I said in the beginning. In all actuality, the fact.
Somebody broke up.
Yeah, Punch cut out.
where's Punch? What happened?
Because I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impossible trying to find who's telling the truth. I mean, would you guys agree?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Cause,
It's like it's just impossible. So, but you know what you can do is try to deduce what's the lie. Like when someone's telling a lie, we're gonna figure it out.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
let's see. Like you go from 22 to 15, from 15 to 8, and then you take a fight for 10 mil guaranteed.
No, but is Al Heyman sideline or is Bud Crawford's sideline? You know, because it's a mix. It's just like in a divorce case, right? Like everybody said something. You can mix the truth, but the loser will be the one who lied. If you can point out the lie and discredit the person, then they lose automatically.
Y'all hear me now?
Yeah, but we know a man who's a strong player in the sport of boxing, bro. And all you hear, people putting him down now, and all Crawford's fans putting him down, because the fight never happened for Crawford. Not it wasn't the fight wasn't there. Yeah, we hear you now, bro. What's happening?
Oh no! I was gonna say that we factual. We only heard one side, and that's Bud Crawford.
Yeah.
It's Bud Crawford, and now the other side is just reporters. That's what I'm saying. That is we need to hear Al. That's it, because it's just gonna be Bud Crawford's side. The man is not a source telling us nothing. It's not a Mike Coppinger story, Dan Raphael, it's Bud Crawford talking about the negotiation, his side. So it's either Earl Spence needs to do the same thing with Al Heyman. That's it.
So Al Heyman, what you're saying is, so let's break it down. So Al, you're saying that the reports have been, the leaks have been, the breakdown on the reports have been leaked from Al Heyman?
Most of it,
something close to him? And who did he report that to? Because there's been breaks through Raphael and ESPN. So whose side is leaking who to whose side?
I'm gonna be honest. My source, my side is towards the Earl Spence side.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. That's what I'm trying to. I'm trying to get us down.
And let me just get this off my chest. Al Heyman, he's gonna do this business. Of course, he's gonna represent Errol Spence first as his client. And we already know Errol Spence is the A side, even if Bud doesn't like it. We know Bud has never liked it. He always wants to be the boss in this fight as well. He hates it. Maybe, we know that Errol Spence and Al Heyman, they've done many businesses together. I mean, they've done multiple shows together. So it's not, I can't really see why we all want to blame Al Heyman, because he's the man who don't speak. He's the only man who don't speak in the whole entire sport of boxing. So he never has a Twitter. He doesn't have Instagram, does he, Punch?
Stephen Espinosa has come out and talked.
It's and it's like, forget about Stephen now, even though that
he can't lie, right? Isn't he, beholden to a company where it would be as people say, illegal to lie, close to it?
Hit the like button while we keep moving. Hit the fucking like button.
Forget about Stephen, because Stephen Espinosa is only one network that Al Heyman works with. The Fox president don't come out and talk about this fight. So it's time that we hit Al Heyman. Forget it. Al Heyman or Earl Spence need to say the same shit.
I don't need to hear from him either, though, because Canelo Alvarez and his team were very happy with the deal.
Different businesses, different business.
I know, but What I'm saying is Canelo Alvarez was happy in doing, and he did good business with Al Heyman. A
What
Punch.
lot
about
Oh
of
yeah,
Jamal
people,
Charlo?
okay.
a
What about
lot of
Jamal Charlo
people
and Jaime
have done.
Munguia?
I know, but a lot of people have done good business with Al Heyman. Now we know fights like Jaime Munguia didn't happen because Oscar De La Hoya wants to split the fucking show on DAZN, and Showtime don't want to allow Oscar De La Hoya to have that power for his fight when their fighters are the A side. See, Oscar De La Hoya is not coming with the A side fighter.
That makes sense.
See, Oscar De La Hoya, if he had Jamal Charlo and Showtime had Jaime Munguia, Al Heyman had Jaime Munguia, Al Heyman would send Jaime Munguia, like he's done with Andy Ruiz, like he's done with fighters in the past, and send them to cross promotions.
So why he
But
didn't?
Oscar De La Hoya trying to play the boss, and I don't want to sound bad, but Ryan Garcia is not the A side versus Tank. He's not.
I think who was that? Rick Glazer. He was arguing that Ryan Garcia could
He's
possibly
not the
be.
A side. Tank
Yeah.
Davis is the man. He's the A
So
side,
He,
bro.
so let's say like this: it's Al Heyman's ego. It's either Al Heyman or we don't make a deal. Let's
Well,
not
you
forget
tell
that,
us,
man.
innit? You do business with him, so you can tell us.
Let's not forget that that Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather happened because they took Bob Arum out the negotiations.
Mm.
Mayweather was not willing to do the business if Bob Arum was on the table. So it was Bob Arum's ego to step aside, and let this fight happen because they had the big ego.
Yeah. You know, the problem is they've always told us this, Punch, that it's money. It's all about money. But you know, I agree with Frank. Now they throw it in your face that it's just about money. I agree with it. These fighters are so uneducated in the way that they speak, even, right? That they sell themselves out, that they're such trying to be businessmen, that it's all about money, man. And they're throwing it in your face. What's all them noises?
I don't know what that is.
What the fuck is that, bro? Aliens from Mirage coming with Terrence Crawford talk.
Somebody in the checkout line.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, bro. I mean, this is purely all about money, man. That's it. And we know boxing's all about money, but when they throw it in your face that, oh, the business ain't right, the business ain't right. Why? Listen, I'm sick of hearing it, bruv.
That's funny that Crawford said that too. He was like, you know, rumor is Spencer's going to fight Thurman. You know, and he's saying he's going to get Al is saying he's going to get a guaranteed $8 million fight. But you know what's really the truth? You said you were never going to fight this guy. Oh man.
It's just getting dirty, man. Tip Bayless.
Yo.
I'm just saying, man, it's getting dirty, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, we know that it's a business first. We know fights are second. Business is what's got to be done properly. But look, Terrence Crawford just trying to be the best businessman he can be. Terrence Crawford wants to be the best businessman he can be. Now, yeah, Crawford wants to guarantee more things on his favor. But Crawford knows that the fight was sent to him and he had the fight from already, he said, in the beginning of August.
But no guarantee does not sound right.
No, I don't. And even when he said that, I don't even know why it came down
I
to that.
don't know
Because
what,
first Crawford said that he was going back and forth with Al. Everything else was good. It was just the numbers.
and see, it doesn't make sense. Like, what contract and what any type of sport gives you a no guarantee?
Hey, I want to give a big rest in peace to one of my favorite rappers, bruv. From the other side of the pond, man. Takeoff, man. Takeoff died. I heard that Takeoff got shot in Houston, Texas, or something.
Yeah, they said Shakur Stevenson was there. Like
I
that's
don't, I
weird.
don't, I don't know about this, but what I've heard is that Takeoff, rest in peace to Takeoff, man. He was a good rapper, bruv. He's a good rapper. He was one of the ones that was bringing it with the Migos. Yeah, so I forgot about that earlier, and I'm glad I remembered. Rest in peace. I heard he got shot over some dice game in Texas and Houston. Anyone not heard about this?
No, I heard. I watched the the video,
Yeah, that's fucked
Crawford's
up
video.
shit. Frank, what did you say? Shakur Stevenson was there.
Yeah, there's a picture of him standing right next to him, like moments before. Somebody on Twitter posted that.
What? Shakur was in the same mix.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say he's in the mix, but he was in the picture. He was there right next to the guy.
Oh, because you know Shakur, isn't Shakur with Jay Prince?
That's right. That's what they said.
And I think they were all with Jay Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace, and rest in peace to Takeoff, man.
That's a weird one. You know what I'm saying? Like that, the news that broke about that. That's kind of weird.
I've never heard of the guy in my life.
You saying it's a conspiracy theory?
No, I ain't saying it's a conspiracy. I'm just saying how it happened. Like it's just like.
Oh yeah, yeah. You never know, man. You never know what after they talk to everybody and sort everything out, different things will come out.
So what are you guys saying about this situation then? Like, do you believe Bud that Bud says it isn't his fault? And he's saying, what do you think?
Hell no.
It's just the business, man. It's the business.
What do you think, Mirage?
I was critical of Crawford, but his side of the story sounded convincing to me.
Tell me why.
What he said makes sense. I mean, and if he's not blatantly lying, like he's the one that came out and made his case public. Spence hasn't done that, so I'm giving this guy credit for coming out publicly and giving his side of the story. So he has credibility. Spence, he's gone underground. He has no credibility at the moment. So if this is true, that they were promising him like 50%, but they weren't going to reveal the size of the pie. They wanted to keep that part secret. You can't really blame him, can you? I mean, right?
Well,
how can you blame him if that's true?
No, I just want to say something to that is that, many times if you're in a case, you're a lawyer, if people are slandering you and you're in a certain situation, your lawyer say, hey, just keep quiet. Like, just because silence doesn't mean guilt. I don't know why people think that just because someone's saying their side. Well, no, I'm just saying that because you're saying they haven't said anything. So automatically people assume because they're not saying anything, they must be guilty, which is not factual, not true. Many times they may not say something for months because that's what they're being advised. The smart thing to do is in these situations, keep your mouth shut. The more you talk, the more you say, the more holes will be found.
Yeah, but this isn't like, a court case where he's accused murderer. There's nothing wrong with I don't see what's wrong with going public and just saying, who is to blame for this fight falling through. Now, this doesn't mean Spence is at fault, but if we're going to measure credibility at this moment right now, so far, I'm giving more credibility to Crawford until Spence makes me change my mind.
Yeah, but okay, let me ask the panel then and everybody in the chat. What will prove to you? It's like sometimes these situations are just so murky. There's really no right or wrong person. What I mean is, what will be the smoking gun for you? I mean, do you need a recording of Crawford saying, "Oh hell no, I ain't fighting him"? It's like, what is it going to take for you to believe somebody? Because it's like you're already wanting to choose sides, so it's really hard to be objective. So, what will it be for the panel and chat to be the smoking gun where you can look at Spence and say, "Oh yeah, we know for sure he ducked"? Because that's never going to happen.
Okay,
so
we're never going to get we're never going to get a smoking gun. So I'm not looking for that. But Crawford said his side of the story. If Spencer's side of the story makes more sense, or he can sort of present something, or let's even say he accuses Crawford of making this up, then I'm going to consider that. So it depends, like what kind of story he can present to counter Crawford's story. Because at the moment, I mean, what's your issue with Crawford's story?
My question
your issue.
Does anybody have any information if Errol Spence has made a tweet or said anything since this interview? Because Errol Spence is a kind of person who will come out on social media if Terrence Crawford's called his name.
I'll get on Twitter right now. Hold on.
Yeah, because I don't think Errol Spence will take that long to say something about this guy.
Well, unless he's like guilty and he can't say anything.
I don't think he's guilty because right now we know that they're going to go back and forth, and this is Terrence Crawford's side of the story.
But what is your problem? What is your guy's problem with Crawford's
anything.
side of the story? If it's true, what's your problem with the story? Because to me, it makes sense. Like, you're not going to tell me the size of the pie. I mean, that's not.
Well, one of the
something
problems
he should accept, right?
One of the problems is you're already a certified businessman, and you've got this fight you've got the venue, you've got the network. He now is trying to bring another deal to the table. Now, Terrence Crawford's never done a big deal before in his life by himself. He's never actually been established as making a fight by himself. So he's trying to say to the big players, the ones who know how to do this business, oh, I've got some other people which
But
want
he
to.
went past it. But he gave up on that. He gave up on it. He said, oh, "Okay,
But what I'm saying is he tried every method.
yeah,
He even
okay,
contradicted himself that he said he tried this, he tried that.
yeah,
So he tried so many things,
yeah,
but then he was never happy anyway. Because
yeah."
when
But
Al Heyman told him, I don't do business, you want me to do business with new people, it doesn't work like that. You're
yeah,
with we're the A side. We're gonna fight
yeah,
on Showtime. We're
but
not gonna
then,
go fight on no new app called Black fucking Prime and
yeah,
shit.
but that's not the reason the fight fell through. He accepted that. He says, "Okay, fine, we're not going to go with that.
But he
I'll
tried
take
his
you."
hardest to do so many other things like that, right?
So we'll give him
So
credit. Yeah, he
yeah,
tried. He tried.
so he tried every other little angle to do more business and try and do business himself. The
Yeah,
problem here is when Al Heyman shut him down like that and said, "Look, we got this deal. We don't just go to a new party and make different deals. We're running the show, not you. You're just a tadpole in the game, basically."
yeah,
He must have told him. Now Crawford said, well, he felt like, well, that they were saying either take the fight or don't take the fight.
yeah.
And
But
he
it
was
was
you could see that Crawford was never happy with the deal.
yeah, but yeah. So he wasn't happy with the details. He was he was willing to work with Heyman. He was willing to work with him depending on the deal. And apparently, the issue he had was they didn't want to tell him the size of the pie. To me, that's a legitimate issue, and it looks to me so far I can't blame Crawford if what he's saying is true. So
Okay,
Yeah,
what do
but
you?
I also heard that's not true.
Mirage, was it
Go
the
on,
size?
go on,
Okay.
man.
Mirage, was it the size of the pie or was it the no guarantee?
No, it was the size of the pie.
There
He
were
said
so many things
no.
that he
But he
Shut
said it
up.
was
wasn't
he
happy
said it
with.
was the no guarantee as well.
No,
Exactly.
first
So
he
there was
said, "Look,
like
I'm not."
10,
No,
5, 6 things that he wasn't happy
no.
with.
First he
Exactly.
said no. First he said he wasn't happy with the no guarantee, but then he said, "Okay, I'm willing to get fucked. I'm willing to like bet on myself."
That's a contradiction, by the way.
Yeah,
No, not really. It's somebody who
Yes, it
said
is
who's there's
because
somebody.
because he would have
It's
at
went in
that
with the
somebody.
time
fight.
he was not happy, and then he's trying to say that then he was still gonna make it. He's
Yeah, you know what?
lying. That's a lie.
No, it's somebody who's who wants to go to extreme lengths to make the fight. He's going to concede.
Okay.
He was
You
prepared to
think he was
concede
going to concede when he already had Black
Okay,
Prime?
then why did he sit on the
Let me
contract for
shut
two
this down,
weeks?
Frank. Frank.
because he wasn't happy with
Terrence Crawford never
happy
told
with the
everybody
contract.
else,
It looks
though.
like they were going. It looks
Yeah,
like they
but
were
Terrence
going back.
Crawford never told everybody while he was doing this business and looking all innocent now that it wasn't him.
Well,
He didn't tell you. He didn't tell you, did he, Mirage? That at the same time he was doing business with other companies to
That's
try
it's
and
not
make
important.
fights,
It's not
to
important.
try
That's
and
not
make
important.
different fights for $10 million with David Avenesian. Once he heard that in the back of his head must have gone ching ching.
yeah, because
I don't give a fuck
didn't he say
about anybody else.
didn't he say if y'all not giving me a no guarantee and they're guaranteeing me 10 million over here, I'm going to take more money over there.
Um,
He said that, right?
yeah, but I think he was prepared to take no guarantee if he could see the transparency and see all the size of the pie at the end. I think he was prepared even then to take no guarantee, but they wouldn't give him that. They just wanted to keep it secret and just say, "We're going to give you 50% of what we tell you, and
Well,
we're
who
not
was
going to
he
prove."
negotiating with? Who was
Al
he
Heyman.
negotiating?
Al
He was
Heyman.
never negotiating with Al Heyman. That's why he wanted to talk to him.
No, I think he did talk to Al Heyman. That was
He
the
he
contract. That was the
he
contract he
said
was sitting on, wasn't he?
he said
No,
he
he
was
was
talking
talking to his representative.
he was talking to Al Heyman's representative.
Okay,
Well, Al Heyman said that there's a man trying to who represents Crawford. Crawford said, "Well, he ain't done business with him before."
no, yeah,
So
but
that was the
that
man.
was
What was that about?
yeah, that was the other organization. But once that fell through, he was talking to Al Heyman, and this is the contract where they offered him 50%, but without transparency. And he was sitting on that. Maybe he was thinking about it, whatever. That's what he rejected. He
So
rejected the lack of transparency, from what I
so so,
understood.
so where do the people who were alleged to be representing him come from?
He
He
hired
said it
him,
was a
right?
hedge
Out of
fund.
New York.
Are you talking about the lawyers?
Crawford hired him?
No,
No.
the lawyers, he had a set of lawyers in the beginning, and then what I heard is that he brought in new lawyers for
Yeah,
this
but we
last
already
contract.
know. Come
So
on, man.
he didn't trust the lawyers. He
You
already.
guys, we can't act like casuals. When he left Bob Arum, at the end of the day, he can't act like he's the A side and the boss of anything, and he wants to show how to do this business and how he wants to do business. It's going to be the business where Errol Spence is presented by Al Heyman and the TV network. Now, Terrence Crawford always knew that he was going to be the smaller piece of the pie. He
But he
knew this.
accepted that. He
But he
accepted that.
knew this. But let's be honest, the way that he wanted to do business, he just wanted to maximize, and I can't blame him. He wanted to
fairness. He wanted
maximize.
fairness.
He
I
wanted
get
to.
what you're.
Let
I
me
get what
listen.
you're trying to
Let
say,
me
Bastar.
just
It's what I thought from the
let me just
beginning.
get where I want to
Okay,
get off
okay.
from this. What Terrence Crawford was doing, his mindset was so interested in learning the business again, or not learning again, but being in the business, that his mind was trying to do many other things that Al Heyman didn't want to do, and
Like what?
that Errol Spence didn't want to do. He was finding different opportunities. He was also looking at what other players wanted to give him opportunities. He was showing that he could find another hedge fund who was willing to invest money in the fight. Instead of focusing and making this deal happen with Al Heyman, he was more interested in what he could
This
do
sounds
and
like a
bring to the
narrative.
table.
You're just giving a narrative.
No, shut the fuck up and
You're
listen,
giving a
bro.
story.
No,
Mirage does not
what he
listen,
was
man.
doing.
That's
You
not
fucking
what
listen.
Crawford
Shut
said.
the fuck up, bro. You can always
It's
speak in
story
my
time.
channel, man. And I'm always
You
letting
want
you
to get in
speak for
bed and
like
like tuck
15
myself in
fucking
and like
minutes.
listen to your story?
Now you can at
put me
least
to
let me
sleep?
speak in my own fucking channel. Mirage, you're a fucking rude motherfucker from Australia. No one's ever taught you any
Okay,
manners.
go.
You don't
Go.
even have any fucking parents who bring you up. So let's just have some topics here with
Uh,
men. It's like every time I talk to you, it's like your boy comes out of you, like the little kid in you.
I'm not the one crying here.
Well, I'm the one speaking. You need to take your
Yeah,
turn
you're the
and
one
listen.
crying. Okay,
Well,
go.
I'm not crying. I'm just talking.
All right, go.
Well, no, I'm not going to go because you told me to. I'm going to go when I'm going to go, and you're going to listen. And you ain't going to like it.
Make
Then
it good.
you
Make it
shouldn't
fucking
have
good.
spoke like a little kid.
Make it good.
No, it is good. It's always good, but you just don't like it because it's not what you want to hear.
Okay. Are you going to talk about what Crawford said or what you're
No, I'm going to
imagining?
talk
Are you
about
going to read
you
his
need to have
mind? Are you
some
going to read
manners
his
on the
mind?
fucking channel and respect my motherfucking name because I'm talking.
Damn, this dude disrespectful, man.
You're so fucking disrespectful, Mirage, and I'll still let you come here
Like I'm
all the
talking to my
fucking
mum or
time.
something.
You're like a fucking dickhead, bro.
Are you
Like a
gonna
proper
hit me?
plonker.
Are you gonna get a stick and whack me on my
Nah,
ass for being a
because
naughty boy?
you got to learn like a little kid, bruv. I think, do you know what? I think every time you wake up or whatever, you want to get spoken to like an idiot.
Exactly. Out. Yep.
And I
He's
don't
a
want to treat you like
masochist.
a fucking idiot.
Make
He
your
wants to
point.
be punished.
Give us your story.
I
Give
just don't want to
us
treat you
your
like an
fictional.
idiot, though. It gets boring treating you like
Give
an
us your
idiot all the
fictional
time,
story
though.
about.
Look,
Go.
it ain't about that, man. You keep butting in so much, right? Frankie does that you forget about the whole
Oh,
dialogue
you want
and
Frank
the
to back
topic.
you up now?
No, I'm saying anyone that when you have a topic and you're going into this talk, right?
We're
Mirage
having
will
a
talk
healthy debate.
so
I don't know
many.
why
No,
you
but
put up with
let me
this,
just
man.
tell you what he does.
Why do you put
What's
up
the
with this
problem?
guy?
He talks
He
We're
about
having a healthy
30,
everything.
40 times, right? He
He
butts in.
kills everything.
He
just
kills
Frank,
the
why are you such a bitch,
conversation
Frank?
sometimes, bruv.
Were you born that way or just developed later over time?
You've been booted everywhere. There's no need to talk to you.
No, I
Everybody's
haven't.
booted you everywhere you've gone. This is the only person that has accepted you, and you disrespect him. It's comical, man.
And I
He has-
don't mind him being an idiot, but I just don't want to keep treating a person like a
How am I
fucking
an idiot? How am I an idiot? I'm saying Crawford said his side of the story. You're now creating some bullshit where he
No, I'm
wasn't.
saying that you just keep butting in and you don't let
Okay, I'm
others get
gonna
their
sit
shit
back
off.
and you're gonna talk now. Go.
Yeah, thank you. Now I'm going to change the topic and we're not going to want to hear what you got to say. How about that one?
Fine.
Nah, Mirage, you just do it to yourself, bro. But look, at the end of the day, Mirage, you got to stop doing this. Terrence Crawford is dancing a little bit in this as well. He's not the innocent, 100% innocent party because he's come out on Instagram telling you his side of the story. And it seemed like he was giving you the biggest reason why he's fighting David Avenesian. Don't tell me that Terrence Crawford, this innocent play, all of a sudden, everything Crawford's saying is 100% correct. He's an angel in this. He's 1,000,000% everything he's saying is the truth. Man, Terrence Crawford doing some dancing, Mirage, and you better watch
Exactly.
this
Matter of
shit.
fact,
Move. 1, 2. That's it. That's it. That's it. With your arms now. That's it. That's it. Move. 1, 2.
Crawford's doing a bit of dancing over here.
Okay, what's the dancing? What's the
The
dancing?
dancing is, it's not 100% what you see. Think it's just what he's saying is 100%. That the business he did with Al Heyman wasn't good enough for him at the end. Basically, that's what it comes down to.
How do you know that?
But you can see it, that the guy was trying to make deals work better in his favor, which you can't blame him. He was trying many different avenues to do different businesses that he wanted to bring in to make more money, which you can't blame him. But his mind was focused in that 1 month, in the 6 weeks of negotiation, doing hundreds of different people else he's talking to, instead of focusing on making the Errol Spence fight with Al Heyman.
Okay, you're claiming now the reason it fell through because he lacked focus
because
with the
let me
Heyman
tell you
deal.
why, Mirage. Let me tell you why, Mirage.
You...
And then you can have the fucking floor. Let me tell you why. If you're in an opportunity in the back of your head, other people are offering you other deals. Boom, boom, boom. You're getting another deal with Black Prime. You're getting another deal with a hedge fund. Your mind is now got other deals in its brain that it's hard to focus in what's that one deal in hand. So please understand that Terrence Crawford could have been using Errol Spence and Al Heyman's business strategy to actually put his leverage up, put his stock up, and bring a bigger fight to himself.
Yeah.
Very
So
plausible.
we got to remember this, that Terrence Crawford ain't as innocent that he's playing out. He's also a very, very shrewd man with the people around him. They've changed his mindset on the way, showing him many other opportunities.
It makes
Come on. Yeah, go on, Tip Bayless. It's your turn. Then we're going to go to Frank, and then we're going to go to Mirage.
It makes more sense now. The guy, right? He tried to maximize his entire profit, you know what I'm saying, by using Spence's name, right? And he did just that. But this is why the backup plan was Thurman. Because, listen, if this guy, if he's going to do that, you know, and he's going to take this guarantee, I think somebody knew that he already had a fight on the backside. Somebody had to know. Because there's no reason they would still have the Thurman fight as the plan B. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense. Yeah, I think what you outlined makes the most sense. I mean, he left Aram to go make this fight because he wants all the money. He doesn't want to share with the promoter. That's what Aram said. You know, had he had representation, we'd have got this fight done.
And we were already told Spencer's side was already done.
Yeah.
And then we hear in the phone call, Al telling me Crawford's still asking questions.
Yeah, but isn't that where integrity comes in? Because it's like being a runaway bride. It's like proposing to a lot of women, and then you just take the best opportunity. It comes down to integrity. So if you wanted this fight, you should have negotiated in good faith and give them the heads up that it wasn't. If they were stalling, then tell them you're moving on. But that was never said, and that to me is a lack of integrity. So you have to question somebody when they do something like that.
He was making different deals going along for himself on the way, you know?
Yeah, that's why he didn't want a promoter. He wants to be a free agent because he wants all the money. He doesn't want to have to give the percentage to Aram or Hearn or whoever he would align himself with.
Yeah.
There is just because he initially started off with one offer and then he moved on to Al Heyman doesn't mean.
Did anybody say it was your turn yet? We were all going in turn and being polite. I listened to Tip Bayless, and then it was my turn. Did anybody say it was your turn?
You finished talking, then I started talking.
Did anybody say it was Mirage next? Because
you're gonna cry.
That's what happened to me.
You want to cry?
No, wait your turn. Wait your turn, man. Everybody waited for you. Listen to you. I listened to Tip. He listened to me. Nobody asked you. Nobody said, Mirage, what's your opinion?
Keep talking.
Nobody said that. Okay.
Keep talking, boy.
Boy, what does that mean?
It means you're a little boy.
Oh, now you're saying what I told you?
Yeah, but you're acting like one. You're going, oh, you need permission, blah, blah,
Mirage,
blah.
Nobody's arguing with you. You're trying to argue with me, and I just said, wait your turn.
Make your point.
I was until you interrupted. So
you stopped talking.
Okay. Are you gonna let me talk, or are you gonna wait?
Talk, go.
Okay. Like I was saying, it's a lack of integrity on Terrence Crawford. Yeah, more power to him. that he takes this opportunity, but I think it's a slap in the face to boxing fans. And I'm not on the side of Terrence. I'm not on the side of Earl. I'm on the side of the fans, which I think we all are. And I think it's just a discredit to the sport itself. It's another black eye for boxing. But hail Bud Crawford and the people that support him and are going to buy his fight. But as a boxing fan, you should be upset. At the end of the day, you should not be happy about it. So that's my say on this fiasco.
How are you questioning Crawford's? On what basis are you questioning Crawford's integrity? What did he do wrong? I'm trying to work it out.
Well, it's just in negotiating. Are you asking me or are you asking the panel?
I'm asking you. You said you were criticizing Crawford's integrity. I'm wondering why. Based on what specifically?
I said a person in these situations, in negotiations, right? To negotiate, you negotiate in good faith, right? You negotiate.
Okay. Where's your evidence he negotiated in bad faith?
That he just pulled pulled the rug from underneath them. They were negotiating. Okay. That's what they said. He had a contract for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but hang on. He was presented with a contract that he was not happy with, and then he rejected it, and it's his fault. Because
no, but then they sent a revised one back, and they said he was sitting on it for 2 weeks.
Okay,
he never denied
the details of the revised one?
It would have been about 2 weeks ago.
Do you know the details of the revised?
Do you? Do you?
You're the one making the claim. You're blaming Crawford for rejecting it.
No, it's right out there. I mean, if you want to find where what I'm not saying is.
Oh, give me the link for the contract. Awesome. What?
No, we're all going on bits and pieces of information.
You don't know why you're blaming Crawford. You're just blaming Crawford ultimately because you rejected a contract. You don't know how bad the contract was. You want to blame Crawford. You want to push the narrative.
I'm blaming him. I'm not blaming him. What did I say from the very beginning? I said that everybody's to blame. Okay. I said everybody's to blame.
Well, no.
I said fuck them both. I'm not saying that it's Bud or Spence' fault. So I don't know why you would say that.
Yeah, but okay, let's just say if this final contract they gave still lacked the transparency, it still kept the size of the pie secretive. Do you blame Crawford for rejecting that if that was the case?
Well, why is he sending revised contracts and then getting him back? Why would he revise it only to not answer back?
Revising. We don't fucking know. Can you answer the question? I want to know. Let's have a. Do we agree on a foundation? Do you want me to repeat the question or not?
Well, you said a lot, so you should stick to one thing.
If the final contract, after 10 revisions or 20, whatever they were, if the final contract still kept the size of the pie secret and it still lacked the transparency that Crawford wanted, do you blame Crawford for rejecting that contract?
Well, what I'm saying is that he should have sent it back and called him and talked to him and said, hey, I don't agree with this. He sat on whatever they sent him back.
How do you know he didn't do that?
Well, he would have said I revised and they never answered back. It was Terrence Crawford who never answered back, and then he took the deal.
But didn't Crawford say they never answered back? Didn't Crawford say they never answered back? Well,
that's what I'm saying. Both sides are saying that's why both sides are speaking at the side of their mouth. I didn't say. I said we have to go with what we know or what we've heard, and we're all using incomplete bits of information. If you have a hold on the truth, Mirage, then say it. I don't have a hold on truth. I don't claim to know the truth. I'm just saying what we've all been saying, what we all been hearing, and I'm saying what I heard. So what did you hear? If you heard different or you know the truth,
I heard what Crawford said, and there's no basis for you or me to just come out and say, oh, he's lying. We can't do that. We don't have anything to base that on. Spence hasn't even come out and really given his side of the story, right? So how can you call Crawford a liar at this point?
I didn't call him a liar.
But you're blaming him. You're saying, oh, we're going to blame him.
I didn't blame him either. I blame both of them.
You questioned his integrity, didn't you?
I said it shows a lack of integrity. Yeah.
But you don't even know whether it shows a lack of integrity because you don't know the contract he rejected, do you?
No, we all don't know. I don't know what you're trying to get at. If you know more, then say what you know.
How can you? I'm telling you, you can't question his integrity if you don't know how shit the contract was that he rejected. Maybe he rejected a shit contract. Then his integrity is not in question, right?
No, but they even said he signed and agreed to everything. All this everything was there. All they had to do was revise the contract. Like everything was laid out, and he had agreed to most of it.
Okay.
The Earl had signed the size, and he was just they were sending contracts back and forth. Sure. So if you didn't why would you keep doing that if you didn't agree to the fundamental, the meat of the contract? Like, why would you keep doing that if you didn't agree with the meat? Because that's where you're going to start. You're not going to start at who gets how many tickets and flight reservations and what hotel you stay at. Like, those are
I don't
things
know.
you
Well,
add to later. But if you don't agree to the meat and potatoes of the agreement,
uh,
why are you going back and forth? That's a lack of bad faith. It's
uh,
tiptoeing the line. It's playing somebody, leading them on, because you would have had to agree to the meat and potatoes of the contract.
maybe it could have been they were going back and forth with the level of transparency, maybe, and they were increasing the transparency. And Crawford thought, okay, there's still not enough transparency. I'm not going to accept that. Maybe that's what they were going back and forth on. Now, Crawford has given his story. Now, if Spence comes out and says, we agreed on complete transparency on the revenue that this fight's going to make, and he still rejected it, then I'm going to take him for his word at that point. But until he does that, I'm taking Crawford's word for now.
No, but it begs the question: why would you even start? Where are you going to start at, Mirage? Where are you going to start at when you start these negotiations? Because the contracts are pretty standard. You send an offer sheet.
I
You
don't
know,
have
yeah,
no
you
idea.
don't know. That's what I'm saying. We're all dealing with incomplete bits of information. We're all trying to piece it together. That's why you kind of have to use deduction. But
Wherever you
why would you
start,
start if you didn't
I
agree
don't know.
with what you didn't agree with? Why would you keep negotiating? That's what I'm trying to say, is that it shows a lack of bad faith. It's negotiating bad faith because you have deals on the backside, so you're not
Maybe
really
he
concerned.
hoped. Maybe he hoped eventually they would agree to his demands, and he was just fucking doing his best to accommodate them. I mean, I
That's
don't
called
know where.
leading on and negotiating in bad faith. That's a lack
No,
of integrity.
no. If his intent was eventually, we're going to work this out eventually. We're going to go through all this bullshit, but eventually I'm going to stick with it. Hopefully we can work it out. That's not bad faith. And eventually they didn't reach the level that he was satisfied with. Then I can't blame him. So
Well,
you're kind of playing
I don't know how you go into negotiating, or how you go into deal, or how you go buy something, but I don't go in unless I know, what I want. I don't go in saying, "Oh, I hope I get what I want," and I wouldn't sit with somebody unless we were talking about something specific, and then all we had to do was work at the details.
There's
So,
there's not even a guarantee of you getting what you want.
yeah, but would you sit there and negotiate something if you weren't getting what you want? Do you understand what I'm
but he
saying?
had to
Like,
he had to wait and see if he was going to get what he wanted.
then why would you send back
Yeah,
revised
there's
contracts?
no yeah.
Maybe they were getting closer. Maybe it was getting closer. They were giving him little bits and pieces, and they didn't go far enough. How about that?
It could have been something closer
Is
to
that
being
possible?
reasonable. It could have been something reasonable,
Maybe,
not what he
uh,
wanted, something
yeah,
reasonable at least.
well, maybe they thought it was reasonable, and they were improving the details, but they didn't improve the details to a sufficient level for Crawford. That means he negotiated in good faith. He tried to push them in his direction. They wouldn't budge to a certain point, and that's it. So it's not necessary to blame him at all. You just seem to
No,
want to blame
nobody's
him for the
blaming
sake of.
them. I'm just
I
saying
was
he should have
blaming him.
told
Hey,
them.
I
They
thought he
should have
was a
told him
bitch.
right away. He should have
I'm
told
not a
him,
Crawford
called
fan.
them up, say, "Hey, this is not going to work. I'm going to move on." And that's
How
it.
does he
Like, you
know
just
it's not going to work? Does he read the future? So you think he should have read the future, and he can predict, okay, in 1 month, after 1 month of negotiations, it's not gonna work. So I'm not going to bother. He should
Didn't he
be a
say they
clairvoyant.
started negotiations in May right after the Spence fight? That's what he said.
So who cares? Your arguments you just make no sense.
so you're saying he did a good thing. He did what he was supposed to do.
From what I've seen so far, his position is ultimately, after all the negotiation, we didn't get to the point where I thought it was fair. That's where it finished. Where it started, why they started here, why they sent the contract back 10 times. That's all
So
speculation.
so the
No,
first
no, 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 no. He tried to say that Errol Spence's people are trying to fuck him, basically.
Yeah.
He tried. He didn't say fair. He said that they
Well,
try to
same.
fuck him over. Like he's trying.
We
Terrence Crawford's trying to say that at the end the contract weren't no way good enough for him or something.
unfair. Yeah, unfair
Like
equals fucked
really
over. Yeah,
unfair. It's
whatever.
like fuck me over, isn't it? Really.
and that's
Now,
why
You
he
think
tried
it's
to bring
fair?
in the hedge fund money for the
yeah, but let's
25
be
guaranteed.
honest. He's talking about a man that never talks. When
Well,
have you ever seen Al Heyman ever go and speak about his business? At this
oh,
point, Al Heyman's not going to be the one going on Twitter.
yeah.
He
Well,
ain't going to
Spence can do
talk.
that.
You
Spence can
know,
do that.
he ain't going to talk. Al Heyman don't give a fuck. He looks at Terrence
Well,
Crawford like you don't know shit about boxing business. You know shit
anyway,
about going in the ring. But
I'm
when it
I'm not a
comes to the business, Al Heyman must be thinking, you're trying to be too slippery yourself. Maybe there was things that look. I ain't saying Terrence Crawford might not be telling some part of his story and it ain't the truth. I'm not saying it ain't the truth. But I'm also saying there could be stuff that Terrence Crawford just ain't telling you.
well. Until that happens,
Let's be
you can't
honest though,
just.
nobody in boxing is gonna say the stuff, even if it's true, that makes them look bad. Not Crawford, not Errol Spence. Ain't nobody ever gonna sit here and tell you
Well,
something which makes them look bad.
of course,
Honestly,
they're not going to confess they ducked.
They're not gonna
Obviously,
confess now. Like you always say that bad things about people, fighters and shit. They're not
I
gonna say it about themselves.
just me personally, I take the Heyman agreement, man. Look, the guy came with, he said he had 25 million guaranteed. Al Heyman is saying, why would you put a cap on your head?
Mm.
Like why would you do that when you could
that
possibly
doesn't
make
mean he's going to pay more than 25 though. What
it's
if he
not
bullshits? What if Heyman bullshits about the revenue and
Yeah,
gives him
but
like
Heyman hasn't really shown that track record. He's made Canelo Alvarez over
he's made some of the biggest fights in
big
boxing.
money. He's made
that
Wilder big
doesn't
money. He's
mean.
made Andy Ruiz got him a lot of money.
But
Al Heyman's track
but he was
record.
working for them, wasn't he?
Yeah, but
Wasn't he
Al
working for them?
Heyman's track record is that Al Heyman pays well. I'm just saying, Mirage. People named their children over this man.
He could have still paid him well, but
Errol Spence has bought a horse, Baby Al.
you can still get paid well and still get fucked over at the same time. You know that?
Well, I'm just saying,
What if
Al
you get
Heyman's
paid
got a
30
good track
million?
record
What if
with
he
people.
could have got paid 30 million? What if he was paid 30 million when he really deserved to get paid 50 million? Are you getting fucked over? What if
But
the
Well,
revenue equaled
But are we
50
still talking
million?
about the fight happening or not happening? Like,
but
isn't
what
that
we're
the fight
saying,
we
look,
wanted to
this is what
see?
we came down to. Errol
Gosh.
Spence. Look, this is what we're coming down to now. Terrence Crawford said the fight's not going to happen because my bank account ain't accepting it.
Look,
Right? And let me
yeah.
just finish again, please, Mirage. Control, control.
Why
Right?
do you have to tell him that like a child?
I have
That's
to, bro. He
ridiculous.
won't stop, bro.
Man, this
Oh,
is
but listen,
insane. That guy is a
Mirage is cool though. He's
vampire.
always welcome here, but you start
Hey,
over
who's this
talking.
general bitch in chat? You move on, motherfucker. Or come on here so I can roast you. Talking shit in chat.
Well, I'm gonna say this, bruv. That Crawford is also now say that he's a boss. So he wants to make boss moves. He got a good move with Black Prime. He's got his fight with
Yeah.
David
Well,
Avenesian. He did not even promote Black Prime the proper way.
Rapstar, can I say
Listen,
something?
Black Prime was not even promoted. At the end, he couldn't even say Black Prime. He was laughing.
Rapstar, can I
Go
say
on,
something?
go on,
Oh
bro.
yeah, because I could easily go the other way. It sounded like I was bashing, but I wasn't doing that. I was just trying to find holes in both of them
you're
because I can
fence sitting.
easily.
You're a fence
Can you
sitter.
shut
That's
the
what you
fuck
are.
up, dude?
You're
Shut
sitting
the
on the
fuck up.
fence.
Look, man, shut up. All right, let me talk, and then you can talk. It's that easy. I could easily say what other people are saying right now that oh, it's Spence's fault. He ducked, and PBC's broke. They couldn't pay him, and that's why it was a holdup. So I mean, it can go both directions. I mean, it's really easy to blame Earl Spence. That's why I'm trying to just figure out what's really true because I'm sure we've heard it all. I mean, if someone heard the actual truth, like Mirage claims to know, then somebody
You,
tell
sh-
me because it's
you
easy to
should
blame Earl Spence too.
you shouldn't focus on the working out part. That's going to make your little brain hurt too much. You
What?
leave that to the big boys, okay? But anyway, um, I came to demonstrate how objective I am. Like I came into this before I watched this video. I was blaming Crawford. I thought, fuck this bitch. He's to blame. After I watched this video, hey, um, I changed my mind for now. So this just
Yeah.
shows how objective I am. But I'm going to criticize him on one part. I'm going to
What?
criticize him
What's that?
when he said, "Oh, people are telling me why didn't I fight Boots Ennis or Ortiz?"
Mm.
yeah, he said they were never
And he
mentioned.
says, oh, their names were never mentioned, dude.
That's a
You need to
lot.
mention their fucking names. You're the fucking guy. If you think you're the best fighter in the world, you call them out. You can make the fight. So he's sitting there going, "Oh, they didn't then mention the names." That's to me, that's dodgy. If he's the man, he should be calling them out. If he
Well, he did
disapproves,
say though. He said, I'm
so
the
I think he
best."
ducked those guys. I think he ducked those
Yeah, but
guys.
he said Mirage in his fucking favor. He said, I'm the best fighter in the world. Do you think I wouldn't fight those guys? He goes, I'll take those fights in a heartbeat.
But that's hot air. He had the chance to fight them now. Apparently, he could have
Mm.
called them out. Instead, he just sat back and just, oh, I'm going to take. Somebody offered me Avanesian. I'm just going to take him. So
No,
he can talk
Mirage.
about I'm the best fighter. He didn't prove that by not by.
He had the chance to fight Keith Thurman back in. A matter of fact, he could have fought Keith Thurman in October.
Yeah. So
He could
yeah.
have fought Thurman in October because Thurman tried to negotiate a contract with him last year, and he said he needed a tune-up. And
How
they
do you
never.
say those fights? You don't. Did he say he never heard of those guys, or they weren't
No,
offered
he
to him?
said those fights won't. They
They weren't
want
offered.
like they want
I got it
presented to him.
quoted. Hold on, I got it quoted.
They
They
weren't
want
presented
fights
to
like
him.
I don't
Yeah, that's
know.
what he said.
What does that
I
mean?
think
He said
He
those
said their
names
names
never
weren't
popped
brought
up.
up. He said their names were not brought up to me. So
Yeah.
he
So
was
who,
not
by
offered those
who?
fights.
But he's obviously speaking of
Their
that
managers,
someone.
whatever.
yeah, like nobody came forward to him
His
and said,
manager,
"You want
yeah,
to fight Boots or you want to fight
Yeah, but
Burns?"
yeah,
if you're the A side, then you make the call. You make
Yeah,
the
but do you
offer.
think those guys are
I
gonna
agree.
approach? Do you think those guys are gonna approach Crawford? Crawford's such a fucking hypocrite. Do you think you're gonna approach Crawford when you know Crawford's making the Big Daddy fight with Errol Spence?
No, not necessarily. Well,
But yeah,
one
that's what
second.
Ortiz had said. If you remember what
Yeah,
Virgil
Ortiz
Ortiz
said,
said,
I'm not gonna call their names because he
because
goes, I'm not gonna. They're fighting
they're
each
waiting
other.
for exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So nobody's gonna present their business when you ain't even talking about any other side business apart from David Avanesian and God knows who else.
yeah. Crawford should be ringing them up. That's the point. If he's the man.
Yeah,
So
but Crawford's not
I
gonna
don't
ring
buy his
them up
bullshit.
by being the
Why?
man in it. He's not
Yeah, but
gonna say, "Oh, you're a top contender. You want to fight me? Let's make it happen." He's not gonna do that
yeah, why?
because they have to present the fight to him. They got to
What?
come forward.
Well, no,
Yeah,
he wants
Why?
to make a
the,
big
Why does
pay-per-view
why
in
does
B
that
August,
side has
fucking
to
right?
come
matter? Why
forward.
does that matter? What are you talking? I don't understand.
The B side has to come forward with the offer
Look, they got to come with
Why?
something to
Where's that rule
Crawford
written? What are you talking about?
because
because
Crawford right now
Oh,
doesn't have a TV
this is
network.
dumbass boxing
if
bullshit again.
No, because we don't. Crawford doesn't have a Bob Arum TV network. He needs people to bring that package
Oh,
to
so he
him.
doesn't so Crawford doesn't know the phone number for Boots Ennis's manager. He doesn't have the number. He's completely helpless. Until he gets called, he can't do anything to
Well,
contact and
Crawford's
suggest a
waiting for
fight. Is that your position?
Crawford's waiting
all right,
for boxing
Uh,
companies,
Yeah,
promoters
but
coming to him.
why is he
He's
Rapstar,
waiting?
but
That's the
waiting for he's
in the
waiting for
I'm gonna get some water. I
TV
know
networks.
you're a
Rapstar,
fuck this.
in the
Yeah,
case
because
of
let me tell you why. Because Crawford's a free agent. He's looking to do business with whoever's got a package ready for him,
is
who
yeah,
can
but
bring a TV network to him, who can bring the fighter to him and make him that money. Crawford's
Rapstar,
not going to be the one calling out those guys. Those guys have to bring something to the table, and their TV network has to bring a package, and they have to bring some money for Crawford.
yeah, but Rapstar, doesn't that work in the other direction when you take guys like Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia? You don't call them and make an offer. They call you. They pick their opponents and they make an offer. And then usually what'll happen is the B side will say, well, that's not enough money because they know that those guys pay the most. That's usually how it works.
Yeah, but Crawford hasn't got a TV network, or does he have a budget for fighting Virgil Ortiz or
Well,
Jared Boot
but
Ennis?
that's how he's talking. He's trying to talk like he's this big
Well,
wig
he's
top
going to get
dog.
caught out, isn't he? Because he's saying he's a boss. The
That
only reason
exactly.
he's a boss right now is because he got Black Prime to sign him in a fight with David Avanesian on a new app.
Yeah, those guys must not know boxing. Wouldn't you have to think that they don't know boxing if they think that's gonna sell? Like,
well,
what makes them think that that's really a fight that'll sell?
But Crawford's got that situation going on where a new app is going to sign him to fight and pay him multi-millions.
Yeah, but does anybody
David
follow other
Avanesian.
sports? You're in the UK, so you probably follow soccer, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I
We
mean, I
follow
follow
baseball and
boxing
football.
really.
Yeah, but how professional sports work, like when
Majority
you're
of people in England follow football.
yeah, okay. So when they sign a top player, you know what I mean? Um, Do you say, that they negotiate with other teams? You know what I'm saying? Do you believe them when they talk about, they were negotiating with other teams? With Bud Crawford saying he doesn't know Victor, that was never presented to him.
See, Bud Crawford's a free agent. He talking to everybody. Anybody who's coming to him with some opportunities, Bud Crawford's interested because he doesn't have a promoter bringing those opportunities to him anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The guys that he's in bed with, they must not know boxing if they got sold a bag of goods with Avenesian. That's what I was trying to relate about, like your club, whoever you follow. Don't you think they know who the good players are and who the bad players are? Like if they sign some guy to a big time money and try to sell you that, oh no, he's really a good player, like you'd be like, this guy don't fucking know the sport. He doesn't know what he's doing. Their general managers is a piece of shit. He's fired the next day.
Yeah. No, but look, let me just say this to you, brother. At the moment, Crawford's in a situation where he can see what's the best opportunity for him, right? A promoter would bring you the best opportunity. But at this point, Crawford can look at what what the Black Prime app was bringing him. He could have looked at what Frank Warren was bringing him. Maybe Eddie Hearn might have reached out to him. Maybe he had some negotiations and talks with some other people. Crawford's allowed to do that right now because he's a free agent. So what I'm saying to you is Crawford had all these other things going on while he was making a fight
Yeah.
They
with
made
Errol Spence.
they made the
Now,
fight happen in 48 hours.
So then, don't you think that's a lack of integrity?
well, that's just business, isn't it? Crawford now is playing the business card. Crawford saying the
Mm.
business wasn't that great. It wasn't the best business with Errol Spence. He could have made money, but he would have had to bet on himself on those pay-per-views as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's
Right?
robbing the bank. Yeah, he pulled
Yeah.
a
So
fast one.
now he's saying that, look, I'm getting a guaranteed bags and I'm fighting David Avenesian. So basically, you can't hate on me because I'm getting a better deal this way. But this is what I'm saying. Are boxing fans meant to be sentimental and happy about the deal that you got? Or should they not be really saying, nah, Crawford, man, you got to bet on yourself. If you beat this guy, even if you get 8 million now, if you beat this guy, you'll get 25, 30 million on the next fight. Really and truly, people are like, yeah, well, Crawford's telling the truth. He
That
getting
only,
more
yeah,
money.
no.
So this is what I'm saying. Fans are like become like this. They become businessmen. They become
Yeah.
logical fans. Now fans are more happy that Crawford's got good money coming in to the bank.
And if you're a fan of the fighter, yeah, I understand that. But for the sport, it's bad. It makes boxing look like a joke. And you as a fan cannot say otherwise. That's why we're here talking, right? Is because we're fans of the sport and we follow the sport. So if you got out here and just start trying to slam Bud or slamming Earl, then you wouldn't really be a fan of the sport. You're a fan of one particular fighter. That's why
Yeah,
we're
man.
here talking, right? We're trying to figure it out. Like, hey, as boxing fans, this is a subject because it kills the sport.
Now I understand that Crawford's saying that there was no guarantee at the end. Now I don't know about that part though. That's when we're gonna have to hear from Errol Spence and other people. Because Crawford's trying to say that they try to make the contract a bit like they weren't giving him a guarantee. Now I'm not sure about that.
Okay, but let's cut it down the middle and call it for what it is. Is that if this fight never happens, I'm never gonna call Bud Crawford the best, and I'm never gonna call Earl Spence one of the best. They'll always have been good fighters, but not all time greats. Because ultimately, this is what it leads to, is right? Is these arguments we talk about on Twitter, and we argue about who's better and shit.
But
But this
I
right
bet you
here
if you ask, I bet you if you ask Crawford, and this
destroys
is
the sport.
I bet you if you ask Crawford a man-to-man question, and you look in his eyes and say, Crawford, was Errol Spence Al Heyman deal overall? Would you have earned just as much money, if not more money, than David Avenesian, your 10 million? I bet you would have said, yeah, after it's all finished and done, I would have.
Are you trying to look in his soul?
No, but I'm saying that the way he spoke, he knew he could have earned some money. The same money he's getting, maybe more. It just wasn't a great enough deal for him. You get what I mean?
I think I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Are you trying to say that he ducked? I mean, without saying it, you saying he could have made probably this. It would have.
Yeah,
It would have. It made
I
some
reckon
money.
he knew the numbers. He knew the pay-per-view numbers. He knew the gate numbers. He knew he could have made the 10 million mark where he wanted to be, but he couldn't make the 25 million what he wanted, right? So at this
Yeah.
point, he's gone with that next fight and said, fuck it, I'm taking this fight. Now he's going to a new network, new app
Yeah.
to
But
fight David Avenesian, and he ain't taking the legacy
you know what?
undisputed
I don't
fight.
know panel and chat, but sometimes don't you have to marry for love or money? You know, sometimes in life there's situations where you're gonna have to make that choice. You know, and he's not the best. He'll never be an all-time great. He'll never have. I, I just don't know where you put him now. If this fight never happens, it's fucking both. I don't ever want to hear anybody tell me Bud
So
Crawford was
this
an
is
all-time
the
great.
actual agenda of this interview, and I want all the fans to know how the fans are supposed that what's going on with them now. Now that Crawford knows that he spoke his side of the business, saying that his business wasn't that fair, basically, right? Crawford saying that his business wasn't that great or fair to the way he wanted it at, right? Okay. So what Crawford's telling you that he's got a better deal. He's telling you, I got some guaranteed more different money. And I'm fighting David Avenesian, basically. So you guys, all fans, have to be happy that Crawford's getting. But it's the truth, though, isn't it?
Well, that's why we have to separate it. There's the business of boxing, and then there's the sport of boxing. It's more
So
of a business
everybody
than a
just
sport.
needs to be happy. This is the message. Just
There
everybody
you go.
here who've been speaking for 4 fucking years. When Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence fight's been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And today, you've been told that the business wasn't the best, but I got a different deal. So it's all about the money now. Just be happy for Crawford.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
And
hear what you're saying.
he got a good deal. Because that's what you guys are all gonna say. So
Yeah.
don't be pissed off now that there isn't any fight anymore. We as boxing fans on social media are more interested in the logical of the business side, like he's teaching you. Crawford's teaching you what the business was for him. So he just basically told you, my business wasn't great. Be happy for me, I got a better deal in his eyes with David Avenesian.
I'm picking up what you're dropping down, rap
So
star.
this is the drift now. You're gonna back Crawford up and the bank account. And I don't blame Crawford for getting all that money. But really, as boxing fans, we're not really talking about the fight that you really wanted. He's gonna drift you away to say, the deal wasn't good. Al Heyman didn't treat him right, and Crawford had to take that fight. So that's it.
I think
The
I
money.
think
It's
it's
all
even
about
worse.
money.
I think it's even worse than that, rap star. I think it's that we've been
Business.
misled. We've been defrauded. We bought your fights. We supported you.
Mm.
We bought these pay-per-views. You try to sell us because we anticipated this. And now you're telling us that it's not going to happen, but still support you. But the reality is we supported you because we always thought we were going to get these type of matchups. And if you're telling me, oh, no, well, you're a fan of me. It's like, nah, the sport of boxing is above you, is beyond you. You are not boxing. Only your fans think that way and will do that. But as the sport goes, you just discredited the sport because we have a clear path to undisputed at welterweight. A clear, undisputed, also pound for pound, all these things on the line. What you and I argue about, we're never going to get. And you're going to try to deceive us and tell you to keep buying fights. Well, isn't that fraud? I
But
know
this
that's a
is,
heavy word.
but intelligently on the social media, bro, you're gonna say, look, if a man got a better deal, or he feels that this was a better deal with David Avenesian after all these negotiations and what the fans wanted, and a fight that nobody wanted, at the end of the day, you're just gonna have to keep it logical now. That you're gonna say that Terrence Crawford had to do what he had to do because he's getting a different deal now. He's getting some guaranteed money. He didn't want to bet on
Hmm.
himself.
Yeah, but that leaves the door open for all these guys to do that. Then you got to
Yeah,
understand that if
everybody's
we
gonna do
accept it,
that then.
then
Yeah.
Usyk and Fury is not going to happen
So
because they're going to say,
why did Teofimo Lopez take fucking less money to fight the pound for pound guy Lomachenko at that time? Teofimo Lopez is a stupid idiot then.
Yeah.
What Teofimo Lopez did to prove to himself as a boxing guy and to prove to the fans that he can win all the belts and beat Lomachenko was a stupid move. Because
In
not many
hindsight,
people
yeah.
would do that. Not many people would do that in boxing.
Oh my God, this makes so much sense. This Avenesian fight was a back pocket. It's a back pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Check
because
this.
Rap Star, I'm sorry, Skip, but let me just
Look,
finish. I mean, this leaves the door, if we support this, it leaves the door open for Usyk and Fury to not fight because they'll have their fans and they'll get supported there and they'll be okay with that. And then we don't need that fight. And then we'll just talk it away and we'll say, well, you know, they can get more money in Abu Dhabi or Tyson can do this. Like, they really don't need to fight each other.
Look, man,
They
it's
still
simple,
got
bro.
Wilder and
No,
Joshua
but
in the wings.
this is what the fans have become. Nah, man, I'm happy for Crawford to get that money. I'm happy for Crawford to get the bag. It's a hard sport. So we become logical people. And when we want to be nice, we want to say, no, we're happy. So let everybody get money, bro. If you're happy for Crawford to get the money, I want everyone to get the money. Keith Thurman's going to get the money. Keith Thurman deserves the Errol Spence fight. I want everybody to fucking... If after today, you say anything about Keith Thurman, your mum's tits.
Oh, hang on.
No. I'm going to say this now. Let me get it off. You ain't
Not
talking.
everybody
If
deserves the money.
anybody's going to start saying
I'm going to
anything
say it.
about
I'm going
any
to say it
other
right now.
fighters and their money,
I'm going to say
shut
it.
the fuck up, bro. Don't talk. Don't talk right now. It's my turn. No, you ain't even going to speak right now. You're going to have to wait like a little kid again. I'm going to say this. If you're going to say, oh, yeah, Crawford should get the money, that's it. We're happy. Crawford's told us this side of the story. Then Furman's going to get the money. Yeah? I want to see Pitbull Cruz get the rematch versus Tank. I want to see him get money. I want to see Josh Taylor get money with Cattrall now. I want to see all the fights that you don't want to see for fucking money.
So no Usyk Fury then?
Yeah. I don't. No. Yeah. I'm gonna play the game with you guys here today. You know what?
Yeah.
Fuck Usyk and Fury.
Exactly.
Usyk, listen, Tyson Fury is fighting Derek Chisora. I want Tyson Fury to get all the bag. And guess who I want him to fight next? I want to see Tyson Fury fight that Australian plum. What's that guy's name? The one who's been knocked out by Dillian White. What's his name?
That escapes me. I'm sorry.
He's
The
retired.
guy who got you. What's his name? The guy
I
who
know
got
he is.
knocked out by Dillian White, the ball-headed cunt. The one
He
which
lost
was
to a football player. He got knocked
yeah,
out to a
that
football
geezer. What's
player.
his name?
With the tattoos, the guy with the tattoos.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lucas Brown.
Lucas
Lucas
Brown.
Brown.
Now watch
Yeah,
this,
that's a good fight.
ladies and
Money
gentlemen.
maker.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's
Tyson
not how it
Fury.
works, Repstar.
Tyson Fury is gonna fight Lucas Brown in Australia and beat the fuck out of him in front of Mirage.
Yeah, but
And he's gonna get
Tyson Fury will make more money fighting Usyk.
Yeah,
So
let
your
me tell
argument
you.
just
No.
got destroyed right there.
If you guys
Secondly,
are happy, no, shut the fuck up, bro. I
we
want
were
this
talking
new
for 2
vibe.
minutes.
I want this new
You want
vibe.
to go make
No.
lunch and come back?
You went to go eat some food. Go eat your fucking food.
No, I'm just.
No, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. How about that? Every fighter needs to go get their money then.
It's the Bud Crawford route. Do that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Usyk can go back
Every
home, fight a couple
fighter
fights
from
there.
now on, let them go get their money, bro. Because guess what? Money's important. We know it's all about money. Bud Crawford needed to get that money, bro. The business wasn't great the way he said it. So I want to see all you people who are pushing that movement for any fight today, get your money. Teofimo Lopez did something stupid. He went for legacy and it came back to backfire
It
on him.
did. It honestly did, though, if you really think
Don't
about
fight
it.
for legacy anymore. Boxing is not about legacy anymore. If you're a new fighter coming up, you better do what Jake Paul does. Promote yourself and make your money. But go on, Punch.
No,
It's like
attach yourself to somebody's name first. Do that. You got to be able to attach yourself to some name. So Usyk and Fury are just going to use each other for the next couple years.
Yeah, but let me say this. I'm seeing everyone with that laughing emoji. I mean it now. If I see anybody saying Keith Thurman don't deserve the fight, go fuck yourselves. He deserves the money, just like Errol. Terrence.
Keith Thurman does not deserve the fight.
Yes, he fucking does.
He's
And
not
we're
active.
gonna go
He's
to
not
Punch
active. He doesn't
Drunk
deserve jack
before
shit.
we say when you're coming on this channel, bro. Let me see
I'm gonna
what
put
Punch has
hands
got
on
to
Punch
say.
today.
Yeah, let me see what Punch has got to say. Go on, Punch.
Where we at on this one? I mean,
Punch. I'm saying that we're all agree Terrence Crawford got to do his money moves. All right? We're all happy for that.
yeah.
But now we're saying that every fighter, we want to see the same movement for every fighter.
Man, look, I think everybody respects people getting their money. We all humans at the same time. Yeah, we fans as well. We also understand this is prize fighting.
Yeah.
If we're knowledgeable about what's on the table, if we're knowledgeable, Bud Crawford's telling us that there was two companies, two set of people, whatever hedge funds that's willing to pay $20 million a piece. And then we have this guy for 4 years saying that he doesn't answer to nobody. He is his own boss and Earl Spence. Then I don't see where Bud Crawford is wrong in saying, I Earl Spence or Al Heyman, I got this company, I got these people that's willing to put some money up for this fight. Now maybe Al Heyman is in cahoots with the networks that he signed contracts with. Yet Earl Spence supposed to tell his manager and advisor, hey, yo, I'm not signed to a network deal, Al. I'm not signed to Fox. I'm not signed to Showtime. You're my manager. I'm signing you. I'm not Boots. I'm not Brandon Lee. I'm not signed to no network deal. Your job is to look at the best interest for me, not for you, not for PBC, not for your affiliations with Showtime. That if you let me fight out here with BLK versus Bud Crawford, then Steven Espinosa is going to get mad at you, or the people in Fox is going to get mad at you. That's not my issue. That's not my problem. Your job is to manage and advise me to go and get the fight that I've been asking for. And there's money in the pot. There's legacy in the pot. So, Al, your job is to look after me. So, as of right now, we ain't see no tweets. We ain't hear no Steven Espinosa talk. We ain't hear no Al Heyman, no Earl Spence debunking what Bud Crawford is saying.
Yeah.
Now, we want to see the fight. They was in negotiation. They was in talks. So I'm on this now. I'm on Bud. I'm giving Bud the benefit of the doubt
until somebody else speaks.
So me and Punch actually agree. There you go.
There you go. For
About
once
time,
in your life,
about time, Punch.
for once in your life, Mirage, you don't need to be speaking to Punch. You can just shut the fuck up.
I knew you'd find some sense eventually.
You don't even
Punch.
need to call Punch's name anymore.
But you
agree with him.
You agree lawyer with now him. Or something.
No, you agree with him, so I don't want to keep hearing in the chat. Well, Punch.
So does that mean I know what I'm talking about? Are you going to respect my opinion now, Rapstar?
No, I don't need to respect none of your opinion at all. Not yours.
But you respect Punches even though he's saying the same thing.
I respect opinions from Punch, but I don't respect your opinions. Well, that's a big difference because the problem is you act like a proper sarcastic geezer. You come in and always want to. When Frank's saying something, you always remember what you don't want to agree with, and then you'll come at Frank.
But you know, Frank talks nonsense. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real.
You want to remember.
Frank's a casual. He doesn't realize it, but he's a casual.
Tip Bailey says 10 good things, but you remember the one thing you don't, and you want to come at him. When Punch says something, you always want to come and to keep disagreeing. What I'm saying to you, Mirage, you can, yes, we're happy. Terrence Crawford, he got a better deal. Is what he's saying.
No, he's not even saying that.
Well, he is though, because what he's saying is that at the end of the day, the deal that he's taking, there's reasons why he's taking this deal with David Avanesian.
It's a fairer deal, but he's
let me ask
you
this though, Mirage. Why wasn't he so excited and promoting the fight with David Avanesian, apart from just everything he wanted to tell you about what was going on with the contract that didn't happen? Now, to me, he's just constantly telling you why the fight did not happen, bro.
But everybody wanted to know that.
That's
actually a big deal.
Yeah. But that's such a bigger deal than the fight that he's got.
Yeah, it's
December the 10th. The fight that he's got in December the 10th is a fight that he couldn't even say what network it was on. He said Black something, and then he said, "Oh, Black Prime." He started laughing.
Nobody's defending the fight.
What I'm saying is, he himself is only coming because now he knows he's got this fight with David Avanesian. And what did he say at the end? He goes, "Even if you guys don't want to support me on this fight," he goes, "It's whatever." At the end of the day, he goes, like he's trying to say, he knows that people ain't going to support him much on this fight. He himself is downplaying his own fight with David Avanesian, bro. He can't promote himself. What he should have done is use this platform to promote what he's doing today as well? Why is he not hyped up with what he's doing with David Avenesian and Black Prime? Why did he not say, you know what? Fuck this Errol Spence now. I'm the boss. I'm on Black Prime with Desmond Tutu. And me and Desmond Tutu are going to do big things on Black Prime. He didn't come out with all that. He didn't do what he's supposed to do to support his brand, to show that, you know what? I am going to show you guys one of the greatest fights. I'm going to knock this David Avenesian out. You're going to see a fight. I'm going on Black Prime. You know it's Crawford time. He just doesn't, he don't do nothing like that, bro. He was so involved in explaining to you about Al Heyman and Errol Spence. Go on, bro.
Is it true that we always discuss about the pay-per-view, that fans don't buy pay-per-views, right? That pay-per-view sales is not like it used to be. So is Bud right for saying, let's take the guarantee rather than wait on pay-per-view back end, which PBC fighter usually make their money off back end pay-per-views? So that's what I'm saying. It just makes sense. I'd rather get me if I was in Earl Spence situation. I'd rather get my guarantee purse. Let's not forget what Mayweather and Triple G stated several months ago. They're still collecting pay-per-view money. So that means you don't get your pay-per-view back in on one shot.
Yeah, I hear you. But what do you think? The way he downplayed Al Heyman at the end, a little bit here and there, do you think Al Heyman would ever do business with this guy again?
It's going to be up to Earl Spence to put his foot down. Will Earl Spence have to be like, you know what? You're taking me this far, Al. But now, me being with you is hindering locking down the fight that I want, the fight that the fans want to see, my legacy fight, my money fight. Now is you hindering me to get this deal. You don't gotta be like, it could be a good business deal, like not a good business discussion, like, yo, okay, I'm going another route. You don't gotta be a slave to Al Heyman. You don't gotta just stay there forever, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see it. If now we're at the moment that there is no hurdles, and Bud Crawford is saying that it's Al Heyman that kept the fight from happening, and Earl Spence is not even sitting on the table, and you tell me.
Did you see how Terrence Crawford tried to say, well, Errol Spence, I'm hearing, is going to fight Keith Thurman? He said he didn't want to fight Keith Thurman. Didn't he say he didn't want to fight him? But he's going to be fighting Keith Thurman. Now, he downplaying Keith Thurman's fight. But he can't really say that, because we all agreed the other day that Keith Thurman, Errol Spence is a better and a bigger fight than what Terrence Crawford's doing right now.
I've been saying it for years, and real people that understand the business of boxing understand that Keith Thurman and Earl Spence is the right business decision to make. But the people don't want to hear it. People don't want to hear truth. So each and every day, every other day, we're gonna get what the people want, bullshit, because people don't want real shit. So here's this fast food, here's some bullshit meal, and that's what's happening right now, especially in this community. They went out a duck. I'm gonna make a video saying Bud Crawford is a duck, and everybody gonna laugh, and it's true. But the real reality is Earl Spence and Thurman is the best decision, is the best business decision all along for PBC.
See, but did you see how Terrence Crawford tried to downplay that fight? But look at his own fight, bro. How's he downplaying Keith Thurman, Errol Spence? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like big contradiction there.
I mean, without Earl Spence, what is Bud Crawford? I mean, does he get this deal without Earl Spence?
Hey, Keith Thurman's the biggest name that Terrence Crawford could ever fight.
I could go with them both playing us too.
I think they are playing us.
Because look what Bud Crawford also said that we all been knowing. Behind the scenes, Earl Spence and Bud Crawford are friends. That's what they are. That's why they don't talk shit about each other like that.
And remember what he was saying, over here at Black Crown, we're going to have all the biggest fights.
They're friends. Yo, Bud Crawford will go at Jamel Charlo way more or Gary Russell way more than he goes to Earl Spence. And Earl Spence will argue more with Keyshawn Davis than argue with fucking Bud Crawford. That's what it is. You heard what he said. I called Earl Spence. I let him know, hey, yo, my man, we got something over here because they friends.
That's crazy, man.
So who do you think is gonna back up the ghost?
That's
Mr. Al Heyman, because you know Al Heyman don't ever speak, even when Bob Arum spoke bad about him, when Eddie Hearn spoke about him, when Oscar De La Hoya spoke about him. Al Heyman never gave a fuck about those big players. You think he gonna care? Al Heyman's never gonna make a statement to no one. Who's gonna
Man,
defend? Who's gonna defend Al Heyman?
nobody. Earl Spence probably said, yo, get your bag over there, bro. And I'm going to get my bag here with Keith Thurman. And then we'll build this shit back up.
Man, I don't think Errol
That could
Spence is
happen
gonna
too.
give him another chance.
It's not gonna be up to this point. If the rumors are, if this is the rumors that Al Heyman has been losing money, he got no more money left, then it's not gonna be up to Al Heyman. It's gonna be up to the network.
Right.
They're gonna tell Al Heyman, hey yo, make this fight. You're gonna make Keith Thurman, Earl Spence, and then we get the Bud Crawford fight next year, and let's build that up.
Yeah, what network though? I thought Showtime was going away.
I don't know. It's up to Fox or anybody could pick up this fight. Put it that way.
Hey,
because in reality, Bud Crawford and Earl Spence are both network free agents. So Al Heyman can make this fight anywhere. He could make this in fucking Hulu and Disney app.
Yeah, man, it's all shit, dude. It's really all shit.
Who else do you
Come
think
on.
could have picked up this Crawford Avanesian fight? Who would have been a big contender to pick up this fight?
I'll be right back.
If it wasn't on Black Prime.
Shit. Who does pay-per-view? The Zone? ESPN?
I don't
Do
think
you know anybody else? What's the Marv Nation one on? Does anybody know the provider, the carrier? Is it an app or is it through cable satellite?
I never heard of Marv Nation.
No, that's who's doing Regis and Zepeda.
That's what's that thing called? Fight something.
So it's an app?
I think it is.
Okay.
But I don't think they're as known as what. See, this is the tricky thing, right? And I was looking at this shit. I think these guys have been icing out Thurman, but at the same time, let's just break something down. Last year, Thurman sent the offer to Crawford for $10 million. There was no counter offer. Then you got Crawford in today's IG Live. He goes on to say he never got the names Boots or Virgil. They never came up. Virgil was supposed to fight Avanesian, but didn't fight Avanesian because Avanesian backed out and held on the contract for 2 weeks. So Virgil ended up fighting McKisson.
Yeah, man, we really need a timeline breakdown. Somebody somewhere needs to do that. I mean, I've heard so much shit. I don't really know what to believe at this point. It's really like, who do you believe? That's really what it's coming down to. It's just who do you believe?
But not only that, then he goes on, he maximizes full profit off of the Spence fight, just building it up, right?
Who, Bud?
Yeah, and it doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. Where would Bud be without Spence? I mean, where would he really be? Because he's iced out of all the big fights at 147, if you really look at it.
I think if Blue Blood didn't come to him with that Black Prime deal, he would be fighting Spence right now. He would have took the deal.
I don't think so.
I think he would have took the deal.
I think he always takes another fight. I said it from the beginning. I never thought this fight was going to happen. That's why I don't blame anybody. I just really I knew it would never happen.
Where else was he going to fight? Because I don't think Eddie Hearn was going to pay him because he.
Well, it's the same thing. It's just like when someone asks you, why'd you do something? It's because you were always going to do it. You know, like you can say, oh, well, I was going to do this, but you did what you did. There's no explaining it away because you were always going to do it.
If Eddie Hearn knows from Bob Arum that Terrence Crawford isn't going to sell, He's not going to pick up that fight. It's a waste of money.
Yeah. Well,
But if
that's why
you,
I thought it was never a possibility anyway, because everybody knew Bud had bad numbers. Everybody knew that, and
but
that's
look,
why he said. That's why he said, "Well, nobody bought his fight because they didn't know how to use the app." Like, who says that? Who does
but
that?
yeah, but see, that's the thing. That's the thing, right? You got somebody who's big on YouTube that can promote that these two are the two biggest fighters, two biggest black fighters. You can he can tell that to somebody that he works for. That look, these two guys are the two biggest black fighters. You know what I'm saying? We need to sign this guy.
Mm.
You see where I'm going, Rapstar?
Yeah, I hear you.
I think it's more plausible that they knew there wasn't enough money for this fight for what they wanted, and they can make more fighting other
There
opponents.
was never enough money for this fight because Crawford can't sell.
Yeah, his demands just weren't reasonable for
Yeah,
what
but
he.
look, Canelo's demands are there. Canelo doesn't fight for less than $40 million, and Al Heyman produced it, right? Al Heyman produces money for fighters, bruv. You think Canelo got one bad thing to say? He was thinking of fighting back with Al Heyman until Eddie Hearn and DAZN made another bigger offer. But Al Heyman's a serious player in the game. He even offered. There was a time that Al Heyman showed $18 million for Deontay Wilder for Anthony Joshua.
But that's because you can make it back. Will
But
you?
what we're saying here is it's not like Al Heyman can't make the fight. He can't bring it to the table. He can. But at this point, Errol Spence is the A side. Al Heyman's client is Errol Spence. It's good, and Terrence Crawford said it himself. I'm gonna expect him to favor his client. So you can't, Crawford. You can't try and take more than 35-40%.
Well, realistically, if Bud is talking about
And
that's 10 or 25, then that fight was never going to happen
hey,
because
listen,
that's what
Buds
he was
was going up and
expecting.
down for little percentages, back and forth.
Well, no, he expected a certain amount. He was making demands for a certain amount,
Mm.
and he wasn't going to because the money wasn't there for this fight because he doesn't sell, and they with the piracy, that's what people have been saying from the beginning. That's why when I heard that, I knew it was never going to
But
happen.
That's buying time, bro.
Listen, Errol Spence is the guy. When he said he's a boss, what he meant is that he got the TV network, he got the best advisor. Al Heyman's got to come to his side of the fucking street. I mean, Terrence Crawford's got to come to his side of the streets because he didn't come with no Bob Arum. He didn't have a promoter.
Yeah, but Brad, imagine when you go buy a car, right? Don't you? A smart person has a certain amount that they're going to spend, right? And sometimes that's all you can spend. But sometimes you got to decide what you're willing to take. You know what I'm saying? So don't you think that that's in his mind? He has a certain amount that he wanted for the. They both do that they
Listen,
wanted for the
even if
fight.
I want to get to the chat, even if Bud came with a hedge fund, Bud saying that he got another hedge fund who wants to get involved or finance the fight or something. Al Heyman said, man, he doesn't let any other companies come into his business of boxing. See, the problem here we're having, yeah, is Al Heyman and Errol Spence already have got this business going on. Terrence Crawford is a free agent getting everybody else involved and trying to make a different deal away from Al Heyman and Errol Spence. But Errol Spence is the guy with the free belts. Do we agree? He's the A side here. Do we
Yes.
agree that? Do
Mm-hmm.
we agree that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Errol Spence brings more to the table? He's got more to offer. He's got three belts. He's a more popular fighter, more attraction than Terrence Crawford around the world. Because we
Hmm.
in England know Errol Spence more than we know Terrence Crawford. We
Listen,
do.
if you're stating that
Dude,
it's
none of
hard
them
for
are
your
attractions.
fans, if you're stating that it's
What I'm
hard for your
saying,
fans to find your fights on the ESPN app,
yeah.
there's no way you can even argue that you're the A side.
Yeah, but he accepted he wasn't the A side, from what I understood, Crawford. He didn't even want to be the A side. He just wanted
See,
a
the
fair cut.
interview
He wanted a
was.
fair cut.
I thought this was him explaining that he's also now with Black Prime. He's got a deal with Black Prime now, big deal going on. He's fighting now David Avanesian, you know. Now he got a different route going on. He was more interested in still promoting his fight that didn't happen with Errol Spence. Now, understand that that interview, I mean that content from him was about what happened. But we also know now, Terrence Crawford, that you went and took another deal that you don't really want to speak about much. Is that what about your fight with David Avanesian? You had that cooking behind the scenes. While you were negotiating with Al Heyman and Errol Spence, you already were talking about other companies. And you were negotiating fights with many other people. It seems like you could be using Errol Spence as leverage for your own business and getting other people to offer you a certain amount of money so you can take those opportunities which were more interesting to you. So maybe Terrence Crawford is a smarter businessman than we actually give him credit for.
Obviously.
And
So are
maybe
we
Terrence Crawford is smarter than most of the people here.
Rob the
so
bank.
Raptor, are we debunking the PBC is out of money and they really didn't want this fight theory?
Mm.
Because that's the other theory is that PBC was broke. They don't want to risk Earl Spence and that he was never the option. They just really wanted to use that to make the Keith Thurman fight
Well,
because
they
that's
can
the
make,
other side of the
they're going
argument.
to say everything now, and they loads of things. But what we did know is Terrence Crawford had a contract to fight Errol Spence. Now, if it wasn't good enough, fair enough. But he had a contract that he went back and forth that he said while he was negotiating other fights for himself.
That's what I try to say. Why would you go back and forth? That just doesn't make any sense.
So that's what he was doing.
It's
And
called negotiation. Have you heard of
yeah,
it? Heard of the
yeah,
term?
it's negotiating. But look, he had the contract to fight. He knows it. He knows Errol Spence sent him the contract. It just wasn't good enough. Even after all the negotiation, he found another opportunity. He got Black Prime. Black Prime's giving him an opportunity. Now, I wonder if Black Prime were happy with that interview because he never really spoke much about you. We never heard much about Desmond. We know that Adrian Broner spoke a lot about Black Prime. But Terrence Crawford, he was like, okay.
Well, no, in the negotiations, it's obvious. Yeah, it's a negotiation. You go back and forth. But the report was that most of the terms, the big terms, were agreed to. They were just going over the minor details.
Look, I'm not saying that Terrence Crawford ain't right for having all these other opportunities, negotiations, and doing business boss moves. Good luck to Crawford. But he ain't straightforward like he told you on that interview. There's things that's happened that maybe makes him look bad.
Yeah, he said 25 million a piece. Like someone was offered 25 million a piece.
So once someone fucked his head up where has
What's
never
wrong
done
with that?
business.
Maybe
No,
it's true.
we're not saying maybe it is
Prove
true.
it. Prove it.
But what we're saying here now
How do
is
you prove it?
look,
Exactly.
Mirage, look, you're fighting Frank. You're both big fighters, right, Mirage? I phone you up, Mirage, and I say, look, how much you getting? You say, man, I reckon I can earn 10, 15 million out of this the way it's going. I'm going to say, all right, I think I can get you 20 million. You come on this new app. Or no, I think I can get you money from a hedge fund. Let me see if we can make more money out of this fight. Now, I've already fucked your head up. Now, whether I can get that money or not, I've already told you I think we can get this money from another hedge fund. That's already fucked your head up now for renegotiations.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now
Yeah.
you're going to renegotiate to Al Heyman for more money because someone else who hasn't done business in boxing, hasn't really put liquid in boxing, but wants to give Terrence Crawford, there's hedge funds that he's found that are willing to put the money up. Now, Al Heyman's thinking, you're a little tadpole. You're a tiny man. You're selling Ford in Ford car lots, car showrooms. I'm selling McLarens.
All right.
And you know I'm the McLaren of this business. You want me to deal with you. Now listen to you that you're bringing this business to me. How insulted do you think Al Heyman must have felt?
Well, wouldn't you? Yeah,
Probably did.
you felt like he was going behind your back.
So you're going behind my back to tell me you got other hedge funds that can bring this money to the table. But then Al Heyman must have thought to himself, what does he know that I don't know? Right? So Al Heyman probably said to him, look, I know the business. You're probably getting played around, Crawford. We're going to have to sit here and really know that I'm the one who knows how to do this shit. Now, either you bet on yourself and you know you and Errol Spence can do 400,000 pay-per-views. If you and Errol Spence believe in yourselves that you can do 10 times less than what Mayweather did with Manny Pacquiao. You just give me 10 times less than that number and give us 400,000 pay-per-views. Now, how much is a pay-per-view in America, Frank?
Like $75, $80.
All right, so let's
Probably
do
almost like
75.
100 after the taxes.
All right, let's do 75.
Nah, 75.
All right, $75. 75 times 400,000 should be $30 million. If my maths is correct, then that should be $30 million because I'm good at numbers. Hopefully I've got that right. Right? If that's $30 million they can earn on pay-per-view on 400,000 buys, then they got the gate. They earn off the gate. They earn off the sponsorships. Whatever else comes to the table, I'm saying to you, he would have earned his money more than he's getting with this Black Prime David Avanesian.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh no, what I think we're tripping, bro. Because he's saying he wasn't guaranteed any money, but the guarantee would have been what was up front. And then he would have, and that's why Earl said back. What about the back end? They would have collected what was ever on the back end. They were getting the guarantee pot up front, and then they would have collected what was ever on the back end.
Right.
So that's bullshit.
It's a lot of espionage going on. So Bud tried to say he contacted Earl Spence himself and told him he had 25 million for him.
Yeah, what do you think Bud Errol Spence is going to think? That the man I'm doing business with and who's got me horses and farms and everything else, you want me to believe you now? And fuck him up.
Think about it. The B-side coming with a $50 million offer.
Well, if you're Earl Spence, are you supposed to just backdoor Al Heyman and go, hey, you know what, Al, I'm not going to do it. Like, he's loyal, right? Whether you hate somebody or not, you can never hate loyalty.
Yeah, go on.
Loyalty is the biggest... what's that credit a man can have, right? Like loyalty above all else, omerta. So he goes to Al and says, hey, this guy's giving me 25 million. I mean, that's red flags, right? Like, you think he's gonna do that? that just sounds it doesn't sound true.
But look, at the same time, right, I do see how Terrence Crawford is a smooth operator. He got himself a nice little deal now. Right, he got a fight that nobody was really interested in with David Avanesian. Right, so let's look forward now. Terrence Crawford's in a good place. Right, he got himself a really tough deal. He got a good deal, and he's fighting a geezer that nobody really thought was going to fight Terrence Crawford. He's already lost twice, and we got David Avanesian, European's finest. So Terrence Crawford got the best out of this whole deal, then the way he's making it sound, really, then, isn't it? So
say that last part again, Rapstar.
Terrence Crawford got the best out of it at the end, then the way he's making it sound.
Yeah, he's a power player. He's a wheeling dealer. If he's making calls to Earl himself saying, I got 25 million for us, then who's to doubt him?
Well, Crawford's then a smart little geezer. He got himself the best of the best for what he can do right now. So he said, fuck the undisputed, man. This is hard work for me. I'm going to go take this deal I'm getting. I'm getting different deals. I'm the boss. I'm getting the Black Prime app. They've come to me. I'm making a fight with Frank Warren's fighter, David Avanesian. It's all good. That's it. So the story's done. And this fight with Errol Spence, it's over.
It'll never happen. Yeah, it's probably never going to happen.
It's over. Tip Bayless, the fight's over, man. It's
hey,
over.
Man. I'm getting the fight I always wanted, so you know
what fight you always want?
Thurman Spence, man.
You wanted a fight that's like 5 years out of date.
Well, who the fuck should they fight? You don't want them to fight anybody, dude. Who the fuck should he fight?
Fight the top guys. Fight the top guys.
This is still a better fight.
Bitch.
This is better than
We're not doing this again.
I know this fucker.
I'm not doing it.
Boots Ortiz.
This is the fight now, though. But this is the fight now. This is it.
Yeah, this is a comfortable fight.
They tried to put
this to the side. Thurman's not a threat. Thurman's not a real threat. He's not going to hurt him.
Avanesian's not a threat at all.
True.
Avanesian's not a threat at all. So now Errol Spence is going to fight his money fight.
Yeah, they're both having comfortable fights.
Crawford's took the money route.
Better.
Errol Spence is going to do the money route. What else is going to do? What else do you want him to do?
Is he knocked out his last 6 opponents? That's the
who were they? Who the fuck are they?
Then you see.
Yeah, I'm not defending that fight. It's shit.
Nobody knows who they are.
Oh.
He
But
turned.
Thurman, I mean, it's a better fight, but it's still not. I mean, on paper, but I mean, yeah, it'll be okay. At least it's
The guy turned down the Virgil Ortiz fight.
who
Let
did
me ask everybody simply, what
Thurman.
would you rather watch? Furman Spence, and you know how Furman promotes as well. So you know, or David Avanesian, who don't even speak English properly, right? And then you got boring Terrence Crawford, who doesn't. If he wants to speak, he'll give it. If he won't, he won't. Now, what you want to watch? What build up do you want to watch? What fight do you want to watch? Furman Spence or David Avanesian and Terrence Crawford? Now I like David Avanesian and Terrence Crawford as well now. I'm gonna watch that too. I ain't gonna lie. Fuck it. I was
Oh, because
joking
Rick
earlier.
Glacier told you.
Nah, fuck everyone. I'm just saying I was just joking
Isn't that
earlier
guy
when
a
I said
plumber? Isn't
I'm
that
not
guy
gonna
a
watch it. I'm gonna
plumber?
watch it. I'm gonna watch that too.
Listen,
I heard he's a plumber.
I will happily give
Avanesian.
my $75 to Fox and PBC.
So what you would rather will watch? You watch this Furman versus Spence
Oh
more
yeah,
than
yeah.
Bud versus Avanesian, right?
Because I know that Thurman Spence press conference. Oh, we're gonna hear some shit that we haven't heard. Just like how Bud was talking today. Oh, we're gonna
Mm.
hear some things we haven't heard in that Spence Thurman press conference.
Dude,
Trust
what
me.
about in the ring? What are we going to see in the ring? That's what I
Oh,
care about,
oh, in the ring is gonna be a fight.
motherfucker.
It's gonna be a fight. Thurman comes to fight. So why are we?
Yeah, I mean,
Thurman
it'll
comes
be
to fight.
it'll be
When have we?
decent, you know.
When have
What do
we
you
not
think?
seen Thurman come to fight?
Okay, which fight, Mirage? You just got to answer. David Avanesian, Terrence Crawford, or Errol Spence and Furman?
Yeah, Thurman Spence. Why
At
not?
least you're being a bit more
I'm always reasonable.
no,
That's the
being
thing you don't
reasonable a little
understand.
bit today. A little bit. A little bit. So look, at the end of the day, this is the fight that logically you're gonna see now. Because there is not much that Errol Spence can do to make a big money fight himself. If he stays at welterweight and he wants to defend his belts, this man is in position. Keith Thurman now is going to get his money because guess what? Everybody's going for the money route. Errol Spencer's got to make his moves. Terrence Crawford's already dipped. He's already got his best deal done. So, yo, this is the fight, people. Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence is out the water. It's finished. I don't
Is,
think
Yeah,
that fight's
it's
ever
not.
gonna happen. That fight ain't
Yeah,
gonna happen, Mirage.
I
it,
agree.
is it that he can't find another fight at 154, or is it that if he goes to 154, he's gonna be called a duck?
I mean, no.
No,
At
it's
this
not a
point,
duck.
you got three belts at 147. Tip. When you got three belts, you go to 154. You're giving up all three belts. Listen, at this point, apart from you, Tip Bayless, if you ask a lot of people, they will agree with Mirage on this. Is Errol Spence beats Furman. I'm not saying comfortably, but people do believe that Errol Spence at this point will stop Thurman because Thurman hasn't been conditioning his body in boxing the way he should be. And he's been taking too many on and off breaks. It's a good fight for a while it lasts, but at this point, you got to favor Spence to stop Thurman. You got to. Now, if he doesn't stop Thurman, then that means Thurman's still got a lot in the tank. That we as fans, because of the Mario Barrios fight, we feel that Thurman has lost a gear. We didn't get that impressed, and I don't think I'm on my own. A lot of people were not impressed with Thurman coming back after his injury with Mario Barrios, mate. That wasn't that impressive. And this is why they think Thurman is not going to be able to win this fight. There's not many people who would put their money on the underdog Keith Thurman, man. They wouldn't do it. Keith Thurman's lost the aura and the belief out of the fans because he doesn't fight like that after that Mario Barrios. Now, some people said, well, he won most of the rounds in Mario Barrios. Right, he won most of the rounds, but it wasn't very impressive. What do you say to that, Tip Bayless?
No, I didn't think he was all the way there in that fight. I think it was a midway point. He it might have been a 6th round. I think it was the 6th. He popped Barrios with a hard shot, and he could have got him out of there, but he took his foot off the gas, and he didn't, and so he went the distance in the fight. And I think that was for him to get those rounds back.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, if Thurman beats Spence, it'll be a big. It'll be like a little. It'll be a little shock now. Not to say that Thurman couldn't have beaten Spence when he was in his prime, but at this particular point, if Thurman beats Spence, I think a lot of people will be like, "What?"
I'm gonna be completely. I think he has a better chance of being Spence now than he did then.
I don't know about that.
I think his style is a little bit too reckless.
Mm.
Just
I don't
looking
know.
at it.
Mirage, you think Thurman can pull it off? I don't know, man. It's a bit. It's a bit. Look, Thurman's had too much time out, bruv. His injuries have caught up with him. You know, it's hard to see Thurman win this fight versus Spence. If Thurman beats Spence, bro, shit, man, that would be crazy.
I
Right
don't know.
now,
Man. We,
if
we
right now, if Thurman beats Spence, then I don't know shit about boxing right now. I can't see it. Even the Spence that came in against Ugas is got a little bit too much to offer for Thurman, bro. You know? But let's see what the chat's saying, yeah? Let's go to the chat. Let's see who's in the conversation, bro. Stephen4722 says Spence will break Thurman to the body. Stephen says Errol Spence will break Keith Thurman to the body, bro.
we've heard this for years.
Let's
We've
keep
heard.
it moving, though. We got George. How do you pronounce this guy's name? Tip?
Hell if I know.
George
Gorguga?
Guruga? Gore Guruga. I'll say it's Gore Guruga. Gore Guruga. Says Furman leveled up his breath control by playing the flute. Shit, man. Jevon number 1007 says Bud did not cook anything. Bud didn't cook anything on that interview. One day Pitbull will be champion at 135, says Peter Von Ox. Gary Antwell Russell will be champion at 140 also, is Peter's prediction. I'll let Con and Peter talk. You know what I mean? Jevon says fighting Keith. Jevon 1007 says fighting Keith again. Raise Spence marquee. That hey, listen, I don't know. Yeah, fighting Keith will raise Errol Spence's marquee even more if Bud still wants. He still get even less. What do you think about that, Tip Bayless? If Errol Spence still beats Keith Thurman and Terrence Crawford fights a nobody like a David Avenesian, when they go back to negotiate, Errol Spence has got more power now because he's beating another big name in Keith Thurman. What do you think? That's what he says.
Yeah, it will. But you know what's funny about that? All the people who said Thurman was washed up,
Yeah.
they're going to use that. They're going to use that for Spence's advantage. They're going to use that for Spence's advantage to say he beat Thurman, but then they were saying Thurman was washed up. These people are crazy, man.
But that's gonna be the fight, bro.
These people in this community are crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be the fight though. That's what's gonna have to logically happen, especially after what Terrence Crawford's doing, you know what I mean? But I want your opinions on this before I go soon. Dimitri Bivol, the man who beat the King Nello, Cartello, the cash cow, face of boxing, Canelo Alvarez. The man who beat Canelo Alvarez is fighting another Mexican, and it's happening now. It's fight week. Fights coming up, bro. I mean, at this point, bro, the closer the fight gets, people are still now slowly favoring Zurdo, or not favoring him, but saying, nah, he's got a real chance. No, he's not just coming in for a paycheck. This motherfucking geezer is coming to beat the man who beat Canelo. So I hope you guys are hyped up about this fight, because you ain't got many fights coming through to the end of the year. This is one of your biggest fights as well, you know? But yo, Punch, what's happening?
Now I want to say, if Keith Thurman is washed up, if Keith Thurman is a gatekeeper, Earl Spence better not. This better be a shutout. This better not be a close fight. I want Earl Spence to take out Keith Thurman like Bud Crawford took out Kell Brook. Should not last more than 4 rounds. Are we in all agreement? If Keith Thurman is washed up and is a gatekeeper, Earl Spence should not. He should put him away quicker than Ugas.
Yeah,
He
that's
should put him
true.
away
No, you're
quicker
right there,
than
Punch.
Algieri.
Yep, you're right about that.
Con Shonery said it's not about washed up. It's about the inactivity. Thurman has had 1 fight in 3 years. Well, I mean, Bud has had
2 fights.
2 fights in 3 years. There's a 1 fight difference.
Exactly.
But Punch, the people are not really giving Furman that credibility anymore. You look at any chat, any panel, anywhere you go, right? Furman is really, this sounds mad, yeah? Furman has become more of an underdog than Danny Garcia. Is that crazy or what?
Facts.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, people had Danny Garcia in the fight. They would give Danny Garcia the credit to beat Errol Spence. But with Furman, all of a sudden, they don't credit this guy, bro. He's become,
Right.
this is,
Matter of fact,
let me tell you where we're going with this. This has become a 70-30 in Errol Spence, and it's going to 80-20 on the YouTube boxing hardcore channels. Hardcore boxing people around the world have got this fight going up to 75, 80, 20.
What's he done to deserve the credit?
I think the odds will close in, just like how the Pacquiao fight. The Pacquiao
Yeah, but
fight,
isn't that getting a bit like Furman got no chance? Is that what's going on?
I think that people are writing Thurman off.
Mirage, you're saying Furman got no chance, isn't it?
I asked the question. What's he done to deserve the credit recently?
Mirage, we're not doing this.
Exactly, nothing. So he doesn't deserve the credit.
Who deserves credit then, Mirage? Who does anybody beat to deserve
That's a
credit?
different argument. We're talking about Thurman.
I'm talking about in general. In
Joe
general,
Blow.
in general, what has
we're not
anybody
talking
in
about-
that division done to deserve credit for who they beat?
Let's
As
go.
of late.
The first part of having
As of
credit
late.
is being active and like beating.
How about if you acted and you're just a loser?
And not losing, and not losing, and not losing to 40-year-olds. How about that? That's a good start right there. Yeah, you're gone quiet now, bitch.
But Ugas,
8-weight world champion, the baddest man who ever put on gloves, Manny Pacquiao, bro.
Yeah, a 40-year-old who was the part-time boxer. You lose
Doesn't
credibility
matter.
right there. I don't care.
I thought, but wasn't Manny Pacquiao active? I thought he was active and winning, so you get credit.
There are still limitations when you're 40
Oh,
years
now
old.
it's limitation. Now you're moving the goalpost. Now it's limitation.
No.
So what else? What else you gonna put?
I'm giving you the context. Manny Pacquiao is 40 years old.
Okay, so what? Maybe because you're 40 years old and your dick don't get up, that doesn't mean that his dick.
Send your missus
probably
over
working.
to test that out anytime. All right, if you have one.
Anyway, I think that even Earl Spence is getting more credit in fighting Mikey Garcia than fighting this Thurman.
It's true. That's 100% fact.
Yo, I still want to argue this.
No. Mikey Garcia got way more credit than
the guy
Keith
came from 135. Mikey Garcia never fought a fight at 147. Neither has Mario Barrios, but for some reason Keith Thurman catches more slack for fighting fucking Barrios than Spence did for fighting Mikey Garcia, who only fought at 140 3 times and then jumped ship from 135 his last fight to 147. What the fuck?
Talk that talk, bro.
Yo, it's crazy.
Like, I will understand if the other guys did the impossible, or they really separated themselves, or they did what Canelo Alvarez was doing, really being active and fighting champions after champions. If they separated themselves, maybe I'd be like, you know what, man, they shouldn't fight no Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman hasn't done nothing. These guys have been doing so much work. These guys haven't put in the work. These guys has put in the same work Keith Thurman did, and he's been out the game, really been inconsistency out the game. Yeah, let's say Keith Thurman is pre-retired. Let's say. But he's still putting that much work. Nobody really has caught up to Keith, except for Earl Spence. Well, everybody else has been doing that in the meantime. In the meantime, what Keith Thurman is in Nepal, getting fat, getting married, what everybody else been doing.
Hey, was Keith Thurman a pound for pound fighter once?
Did he get into the pound? I don't even think he was in the pound for pound.
Yeah, he was number 4 after Dennis Garcia. ESPN had him as number 4.
Then this. They want to get Spence Jaron Ennis, right? They want to get Spence Jaron Ennis, right? Mikey Garcia beat Sergey Lipinets after he came for 135, and then Jaron Ennis stopped Sergey Lipinets. So you want the guy that lost to a 135 pounder to face the guy who fought a 147 pounder and then lost to him, and then the guy that beat him to go fight the guy who's champ at 147, as if he's proven? That's crazy. So
yo, keep cooking. I'll be back.
We're throwing
Clubinator. What's going on, Clubinator?
Yo, respect, you guys. Respect.
We're throwing this 140 pounder around.
Maybe Keith never should have done the favor to vacate his WBC belt. He should have never done the favor.
I think
he should have kept that WBC belt. And if you're going to lose it, then lose it to Manny Pacquiao. And then this guy would have unified the belts for the first time fighting Ugas. That's what's going to happen. Earl Spence just unified now. He just did something better than Keith Thurman now. Keith Thurman really got injured in 2017.
Spence beat 2 other guys. He beat Ugas and he beat Kell Brook in his hometown when Kell Brook was still more.
Not the same year that Keith Thurman unified. But what everybody else was doing.
Errol Spence has beat 2 more champions as well.
Who had the belt? Who had the WBO around the time?
Jeff Horn. Manny Pacquiao lost to Jeff Horn, and then Jeff Horn fought one fight, and then he fought Bud Crawford.
I don't think they Bob Arum wouldn't have made that fight happen. Spence and Horn.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't think Bob Arum would have made that fight happen.
But then if Keith Thurman would have never vacated the title, we would have never seen Porter versus Danielson Garcia for the WBC.
I want to know this new narrative that Terrence Crawford's people said that Keith Thurman asked to fight and he wanted to fight Terrence Crawford, but he wanted 10 million.
That was the start.
But they didn't want to counter offer him nothing. They just moved on. But when Amir Khan asked for that kind of money, they counter offered Amir Khan and gave him 7 million. Why didn't they negotiate with Keith Thurman the same way that they did with Amir Khan?
From what Bo Max said Keith came in and the price was too high. The guy came in asking for 10 mil. That's what Bo Max said in that interview. And he said Amir Khan got 5 and they tried offering Danny 3 mil.
But Keith Thurman said that was a lie. He never offered no 10 mil.
Oh, they even downplayed that. Keith Thurman said that he didn't even go that high.
Yeah, he said Keith Thurman said he didn't ask for no 10 mil. That's a lie.
Wow. So at this point, Terrence Crawford didn't even take the fight with Keith Thurman when they could have negotiated that fight.
That fight, like I said, that fight could have probably been done and made and happened in October.
Yeah. What do you think, Clubinator? You just came in.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. At this point, if they're gonna make the fight, just make the fight. you know, there's people apparently that would be dying to see Thurman and Spence. So just make it, man. If I mean, we're not gonna get Spence versus Crawford anytime soon, so just make it. Crawford fight David Evaneson, Spence fight Thurman. They're both still good fights, not the worst fights ever, man. It's not like Spence is fighting fucking John Bone, the number 500 ranked welterweight. You know,
But I
so
want to know that why you guys are not hyped. Like, what makes you say that Keith Thurman can't give this fight a good fight? What makes you say Keith Thurman don't give Errol Spence his hardest fight till today?
Because they don't want to see it.
yeah,
I think not, it's not about seeing the fight. I think they don't want to see Thurman beat Earl Spence.
Why?
Sometimes
Why?
fans,
Why?
because they just probably married to the Earl Spence and Bud Crawford.
yeah.
They don't want to see. They don't want to see what the emotions been invested.
They don't want to see it, or they can't see Keith Thurman doing it anymore.
No, it's almost like, were you happy that Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua? Nah, because that got in the way of the fight that we all wanted to see, Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
People
but
just
then I
don't want
wanted
to
to see the
see a
rematch.
certain person beat somebody. It's not even
I
about
wanted.
fighting. They just don't even want to they don't want there to be a chance that this guy. They would
Yeah.
rather see a Triple G the third time, rather to see Charlo and Canelo, or rather see Andre and Canelo. You know why? Because they don't want to see a Canelo Alvarez even struggle with a fighter that they don't respect. It's
All
not
right,
about the fight.
I have a question. Stylistically, what's a more fan fun matchup? To Spence versus Crawford or Thurman versus Crawford?
I think Earl Spence versus both, because Earl Spence has more of an constant attack style. I think Earl Spence makes a fight with either or. I think Crawford and Thurman will be, for me, that was always like the ultimate chess match because of their footwork. They throw awkward punches from different angles. They're unpredictable. I've seen them both switch up. It's just like Thurman when he switched up and knocked down Bundle when he switched southpaw. We've seen but Crawford switch from orthodox to southpaw. I think they're more unpredictable fighters, and that will be like the real physical chess match. And I think Earl Spence is more predictable but more durable.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that.
So at this point, then, how do you favor the fighter? And let's be honest, at this particular point, do you favor Errol Spence? Like, I got it 60-40 Errol Spence's favor.
I would say 70-30 for me. 70-30.
Everybody in the chat's got it 80-20, 70-30.
Yeah.
I got
Maybe 90-10.
55-45.
Maybe 99 to 1%, something like that.
To Errol Spence.
Yeah.
I'm going 50-50.
I got 51-49. Earl Spence.
I'm
Yeah.
going 50-50.
You're the only one with Tip Bailey's, which is virtually against the 2% again.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, man. Keith is a puncher, dog. He's a puncher. The guy's.
But it's not a 50-50 fight, bro.
He's
Yo, I
naturally-
don't see Earl Spence as a world beater, bro. He's not running through motherfuckers.
Yeah, but
I don't know why
Yeah,
people
same.
make it seem like Earl Spence running through mother. He's not.
he's
He's
gonna
not
beat-
Inoue, bro.
But
He's
you
not
expect him
running
to
through
beat
motherfuckers.
you expect him to beat you down and break Keith Thurman's eye socket.
Yeah, he's not doing no Inoue shit. He ain't not no
Yeah.
Mike Tyson. People got
No,
this
but he's
thing
breaking people's eye sockets.
So what?
He's definitely not going to do that to Thurman, that's for sure.
So what?
I mean,
that's if you're these guys are just standing there. You got to remember that the guys he's punching are just standing there.
Did he break Porter's eye socket? Did he break Danny Silva Garcia eye socket? Did he break Mikey Garcia eye socket that was there for 12 rounds?
But they're lucky.
Earl
They're
Spence
lucky
threw
their eye
1,000
sockets
punches.
never got broke.
That came up from 135.
Never got broke with the jab.
Huh?
They're lucky their eye socket never got broke with Errol Spence's jab only.
Yeah, man. I
Errol
don't know.
Spencer's got a vicious jab, man. You know they talk about Devin Haney's jab. Devin Haney's jab ain't got shit.
Errol got that southpaw jab.
Errol got a jab that will fuck you
Listen,
up, bro.
that
It'll keep you at bay.
that
Trust
I ain't
me.
gonna lie.
That's
Earl's
a
jab
real
is
jab.
nice. Earl takes a hard step with his jab, and he'll put
Yeah.
it right
Devin
in
Haney
your
ain't got shit
face.
in Errol's jab.
But Thurman has that. Thurman has a setup jab where he'll like if you notice Keith fight, Keith will throw two little jabs out there, right, and then he'll come with a combination. Keith is a combination puncher. That's what makes it like
Yeah.
fun stylistically. If he fights a Spence,
I don't know. I seen Keith Thurman his career break two dudes' ribs. That was Julio Diaz and Carlos Quintana. Body shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Keith Thurman was vicious as well.
And people write him off too for the Manny Pacquiao loss, but people forget that he was in that fight. It was a competitive fight.
after a knockdown, you know how hard it is to recover after a knockdown.
Why
Let's
do you
not
think
forget also
why do you think Manny Pacquiao couldn't knock down Keith Thurman anymore? Because
He
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao will be getting hurt.
Manny was feeling those punches.
No,
Yeah, he
I'm
said
just
it
saying,
himself.
Manny Pacquiao couldn't do it anymore because he knew Keith Thurman had figured something out there.
everybody knows in boxing you get hurt with the shot that you don't see.
Mm.
I think Keith Thurman he hurts people, but they still see his shot.
It's because he loads up.
Yeah,
He
he throws
loads up
some
on his
wild
punches.
punches too. He hurt Mario. Matter of fact, if you ask Mario Barrios, he'll probably be like, "Yeah, Javante Tan Davis knocked me down, but Keith Thurman probably hurt me more throughout 12 rounds.
I thought
Yeah.
His
his
face
nose.
was disfigured.
I thought his nose was broke.
It was.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shit looked disfigured as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, people count out Keith Thurman, but people downplay Keith Thurman, but people forget that their Lord and Savior Pacquiao, he said Keith Thurman is the future of boxing. He says he's a great fighter. He hits hard. He gave him his props, man. So
He said Thurman hit the second hardest to
From Margarito.
Margarito.
yeah,
But it's not that, guys. You know, I'm also a big Keith Thurman fan. But I'm the big fan of that Keith Thurman, which, you know, when he was that mad guy, when he was fucking calling everyone out and he was taking people, he was the guy punching like one time. Even though he wouldn't knock you out, his one-time punches showed Danny Garcia and Sean Porter what they were about. What I'm saying is that Keith Thurman with a hunger, he was a different animal. This new Keith Thurman got married from the fucking mountains with a woman from Nepalese or something. He got his woman from the internet. He found some beautiful princess. I see him do all this marriage. He was doing this dancing and he come back. He got kids now. She got him under the wraps. He's got a big belly. She's cooking him all this best Nepalese shit from the mountains. Let me tell you, the Keith Thurman that I know, he could have dealt with or fight these Terrence Crawfords and Errol Spence. But this Keith Thurman, bro, look at him. Look at the one on the left.
oh
Man, this is a Keith Thurman who's just chilled now. He got his money. Man's got fucking over 10 million, a big yard, got a beautiful princess from the
We
mountains.
got condo, no house. Condo.
But I'm just saying,
That's
look
a
at the Keith Thurman on the right, bro.
that's a man at
Let me
peace.
tell you this. I would never fuck with that Keith Thurman on the right-hand side. But that Keith Thurman on the left, he ain't beating Errol Spence. That Keith Thurman on the right, man, I'm gonna have to say shit, bro. He may be beating Terrence Crawford.
Is it the hair that makes the difference?
Nah, bro. This Keith Thurman on the left with the look how he's laughing, bro. He's changed.
yeah, he looks like a
Where
fool
the
on
fuck
the
did
left.
you find this picture?
I
You see,
think.
I
I
get
think.
pictures, bro. I got proper people
I,
in this business of boxing.
I think.
Now,
I think this will happen really to Keith Thurman.
But look at that Keith Thurman, bro. See that one on the right,
I'm not
bro.
gonna lie. After that
Hey,
picture,
let me tell you
Keith Thurman
something,
has
Punch.
zero chance.
Punch, let me tell you. That Keith Thurman one day, where he made me a big fan. When I used to like how Magic Man used to speak, and this Keith Thurman said to Magic Man, "You will always duck me." I said, "Who the
Better
fuck's
not
this
duck
guy?"
me, son.
And he came at Magic Man, and Magic Man had to come out with all the lyrics. But he said to the world that Paulie Malignaggi, he ain't never gonna fight me. He said, I might be in contention now, but Paulie Malignaggi can say what he wants, and he ain't never gonna fight me. I start looking at Keith Thurman. I said, this geezer's some serious guy. He wants all of these people. He wants to take Paulie Malignaggi out, and then he wants Mayweather. I said, what? This guy was different. And let me tell you what Paulie Malignaggi did. Paulie Malignaggi ran as quick as he could and find Adrian Broner.
Yeah, people forget. That's what I'm saying. People forget.
Come on, Punch.
Keith Thurman.
That's the Keith Thurman.
Remember Paulie Malignaggi back in the days? He said Keith Thurman would beat Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Remember Oscar De La Hoya said that Keith Thurman would beat Triple G?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think Keith Thurman...
I remember that.
You think Thurman would have beat Malignaggi worse than Sean Porter did?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell
Yeah, that's without a doubt.
Sean put a beating
because,
on
no, let's be honest, though. Paulie Malignaggi was losing his legs at that time. But the Paulie who fought Cotto, he would have gone 12 rounds with all these cats. Don't forget that as well. Don't forget that as well, bro.
And that's what it is.
Malignaggi, he would have been able to fight these guys. But that time, Paulie was slipping. But what I will say, he made sure he never fought Keith Thurman, and he went and got that Adrian Broner fight.
At that time, Keith Thurman was calling out those names. Earl Spence was not even a fucking name. Was nobody. All people knew about Earl Spence that he was a sparring partner of Floyd Mayweather.
So yeah, man. You know, I just got out of jail. I was coming back. You know, I was fighting all Southpaw sparring partners. You know what I'm saying? Earl Spence gave me some good work.
Hey, let me tell you, if Mayweather wanted to leave the sport on the top of the top, we're not saying Mayweather wasn't one of the greatest, but if he wanted to leave as the greatest, he should have fought Keith Thurman. Because Keith Thurman was a way more valid opponent at that time than Andre Berto could be.
Fucking Andre Berto.
This what happened.
That was, if Mayweather really wanted to show the world, I'm the dog who can beat anybody.
You know what happened? This is what happened. This is what happened also. When the YouTube was coming up, when the boxing content creator was coming up, you had Dante Boxing Nation, you had Ego, they're on the West Coast.
Yeah, I used to watch it crazy. That's who I used to watch.
You had Eddie Setback.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the quote unquote the narrative pushers. They needed to spin those narratives for Floyd around that time. So those channels, the Fight Hype in the beginning, the Dante Boxing Nation, the Egos of the world, they the one that started the narrative against Keith Thurman. So now it built a bunch of followers, this narrative that Keith Thurman been ducking this guy for such a long time. That's what happened in this community. The channels, the big channels, wasn't about Keith Thurman. Even the new media, LDBs, they wasn't about Thurman. They always was about Spence, Wilder. Who they used to spend for? They used to spend.
I never even heard of Earl Spence around that. I never seen an Earl Spence fight until after until it was on YouTube. Until he was brought up on YouTube. I never seen an Earl Spence.
Well, Floyd brought him up when he had the glasses.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, I think he should fight Keith Thurman. He did some good work. He threw him in as a dodge.
Yep. If you fight Earl Spence, then you can fight me. And that's when everybody started going at Keith Thurman.
And then Sean from Fight Hype asked him. He was like, so I think Porter has a belt and Thurman has a belt. Why don't you fight one of them? And Mayweather went on to reply. He was like, well, you know who I want to fight. I want to fight either Andre Berto or Karim Mayfield.
No, he said he would fight even Amir Khan, but that fight never happened.
No, it was Andre Berto and Karim Mayfield. I'm telling you.
He did a poll, remember?
Mm.
And everybody chose Amir Khan.
Yeah, they did.
Bro.
And he did. They chose the poll, and then they all chose Amir Khan because they said Amir Khan at that time was still winning. He was young, and his fast hands might do better than anyone else at that time. So they wanted Amir Khan, but then he fucking went against the poll. The guy. He went against the poll. He chose Madonna, didn't he?
Yep.
at
I
that
think
time.
the Maidana fight would have probably been tougher than Americon.
He could have taken Keith
But Amir
Thurman
Khan beat
after
Madonna.
Maidana won.
Let's not forget, Amir Khan beat Madonna.
He could have taken Keith Thurman after Maidana won.
Hey, look, main thing is, yeah, that Keith Thurman on the right-hand side, he was a worry, bro. People didn't even want to fight him as they were coming out the game. I'm saying names now like the Paulies and the Andre Bertos and the guys that were at the end of their career, even the Victor Ortizes, all these guys, they don't want no smoke with this guy. When Keith Thurman came out with one-time Keith Thurman, bro, people were moving out of the way. And I remember Keith Thurman saying that, you know what, he ready to fight Kell Brook, Amir Khan as well at them days. He was calling them out too. He said, I'll fight Kell Brook and Amir Khan. Do you remember that punch? And his name started coming to England, and Kell Brook said, who's this guy? And then we started having to start speaking about Keith Thurman because he became a regular champion. He got elevated.
You know those channels deleted those videos?
What channels?
When he was calling out, when he was with the lime green shirt, calling out Floyd, calling out Floyd. I think leading up to the Luis Collazo fight, he was calling out Floyd, Kell Brook, Miguel Cotto.
For real?
They deleted those shits.
Who deleted it?
I think it was Fight Hype. I think they deleted those videos.
Oh, people said take this guy off.
I don't like that. You can't go on YouTube and then like just search the oldest videos. Like the only ones you can find are the most viewed ones, and some of those don't even date back to 13 years ago.
So all I'm saying is, do you think Keith Thurman himself knows that he's been waiting for the next biggest fight, that he's going to go all out? Does he keep his body condition like that? Does he keep his mind? It doesn't look like it to me.
I think Keith Thurman haven't done what great fighters do, and that's adjust when something is fucked up. His hands is fucked up. His hands, I remember I saw him after the Danny Garcia fight in Harlem. He went to South, there's this soul food restaurant I go to all the time. And he came and it looked like his hand was fucked up. And he said, my hand been fucked up since the porter. So then after the Danny Garcia fight, that's when he had the surgery. His hands has failed him. But his hands that's his power. And I don't think he has adjusted like Floyd Mayweather have adjusted when his hand got fucked up.
So this new fighting style for Keith Thurman is something that he has to really adjust and be comfortable with because of his hand not going in all in with the shot from the hip because it's broke his hands already. So he has to fight in a certain way now.
If he wants to continue longevity, yes.
Yeah.
Wow. So this might take a toll on him because not every fighter can depend on adapting as they get older to use their legs and use their skills because it gets limited. Sometimes you fight these guys, you need that power. So he could be in a bit of a limited situation. And this is why, do you blame the people who's got Errol Spence 80-20 and 70-30 now all across the globe?
Remember what the strength and conditioning coach of Manny Pacquiao said? He said, let's get Keith Thurman now before he gets in the groove of things.
He said that? I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Go back to, he said it, the groove of things, but go to the strength and conditioning coach. Said we'd rather get Keith Thurman now before he gets comfortable. When he gets back and gets comfortable. We got to get him now.
I've seen people. I was watching.
But I'll tell you something. If Errol Spence makes Keith Thurman, or Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, they fight in December, Errol Spence is winning because Keith Thurman needs more time than that.
Peter, Keith will be 34 by December. I think has Earl already turned?
Maybe they need a fight in March, and maybe Keith.
He's a year younger. He's a year younger than Thurman.
So would he be 33 right now, or would he?
I think Thurman's going to be 34 in November. 33 or 34 in November.
Oh, okay.
And Earl Spence is going to be, I think, 33 in January.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm not that far.
Yo, I've done so much content between these motherfuckers. I don't even know their birthday. Bud Crawford's birthday is September 28th.
Damn, I wish Keith never lost that belt, man, because this fight would be massive right now.
I'll tell you something. I know you're gonna hate what I'm gonna say sometime about this one, but I think it's time you people start to agree with Floyd Mayweather. When Floyd Mayweather told us all this fight ain't happening right now, while everybody else and that guy came on fucking some, what's that guy's name? The one who's all known. What's his fucking name?
Well, didn't Earl drop a tweet the other day talking about?
Anyway, they all said the fight's happening, and Floyd Mayweather says ain't no fight happening right now, and people thought he was hating. Floyd Mayweather knew this fight wasn't happening between Crawford and Errol Spence. So next time Floyd says something, fuck Mike Coppinger, you need to start to listen to Floyd Mayweather. That's what I'm saying.
Earl dropped a tweet the other day talking about they say I still owe them something. I gotta find it right quick. Let me see if I can quote it.
And Floyd Mayweather's fighting another YouTuber, bro. KSI's brother. Floyd's cashing out with everything and anything and any little kids and everybody. And he's getting more money than Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, who can't even produce the fight. Floyd's Money Mayweather at 40 fucking 6 years old. How old is he? 40 fucking 6 years old is making more money with a YouTuber in England than Errol Spence fighting fucking Terrence Crawford. That's crazy.
Oh, that's what he said. That's what he said. I'd rather kick it with my woman and kids. I never did something that I wasn't supposed to do with them. Announcement coming soon. So I guess.
Damn.
Oh shit. So I guess he is gonna fight Keith. Cause he's saying, man, I was gonna fight this motherfucker, but you know what I'm saying, nah, I gotta fight him.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yo, did you guys catch that fight earlier today in the morning?
What fight?
You guys saw the unification, Hiroto Kyoguchi and
the
Kenshiro
Japanese
Teraji.
guys.
Yeah. That shit was fire.
Yeah, tell us
hear
about
the
it, bro.
Japanese
Talk to us while I change my my device. Go on.
Yeah, that shit was fire, man. Anybody that doesn't know, watch check out Kyoguchi and Kenshiro Teraji, man. That was a great fight. The whole card was pretty good, but that was a firefight, man. These guys were unifying two belts, two champions, Kyoguchi and Teraji. I knew about them for a while now. Yeah, they're great fighters. It was a firefight, man. These dudes were wobbling each other almost every round. I think it was round 5 that it was just crazy, man. These guys were like zombies, just throwing like hundreds of punches, and it's like they were like ballistas, man, like machine guns, and the crowd was going crazy. There's a lot of drama. Yeah, and Taraji pulled off the win. So I don't know if anybody in the chat saw that, but yeah, Taraji pulled off the win. It was unexpected. I thought Kyoguchi was gonna win, but Taraji pulled off the win, and that man is who knows what he's gonna do next. That's a big fight right there.
But let's talk about the fight that's really happening that everybody's going to be watching. And this is the fight that you guys really need to give your predictions. And I don't want no casual prediction. Oh, Bivol's going to win because Bivol's elite and this guy ain't fought elite. Now, let's watch this. Take your decisions. I'm going to start watching who's saying what. And when the fight happens, we're going to see who picks Zurdo Ramirez. So I know a lot of people are favoring Bivol. I'm going to start with Frank, Tip. We go to Mirage, even if we have to. And then we see who else is in the back. Go on. And the Clubinator as well, mate.
Yeah.
Go on, Clubinator.
Yeah, I mean, for this fight, Zurdo Ramirez versus Dimitri Bivol, I believed in Bivol ever since I saw him fight Joe Smith Jr. Big power puncher. Bivol was hurt in that fight. and he came back and actually he hurt Joe Smith Jr. So Bivol is a person who he recovers well from being hurt, and he also was well equipped to deal with power punchers, and he can also actually hurt strong dudes like Joe Smith. So I really don't see what Ramirez can bring to the table that Bivol hasn't seen. So I think Bivol's just gonna outbox him and take him into deep waters. But Bivol is a strong dude. He's young. Obviously, he could pull off the upset, but I just don't see it. I see Bivol taking this fight. Yeah, I see him winning unanimous decision. What are you guys saying? What do you guys think? You guys got Ramirez or what? Or Bivol?
I've only seen Bivol fighting the Canelo fight. I haven't seen Zerto fight.
Not even highlights? You never seen that?
Nah, I haven't.
Oh shoot. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know, bro. There's not much to see. I would say it's just a power puncher, Mexican dude, big and strong.
He's not even a power puncher. He's a volume puncher.
Yeah, man.
Not a 175. He's not a power puncher. Yeah, he's sort of to me, he's a basic sort of volume Mexican come forward fighter. He's there to be hit. I'm not very impressed.
Yeah.
And I think Bivol's overrated, but I still think he wins comfortably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't Zerto? Wait, Zerto's the guy who's 40-0, right?
44-0 or something.
Oh my god.
It really
Yeah, I don't know. He's fought 70
How
motherfuckers.
He's 44-0 against freaking
who?
dudes from the deli grocery store. Dude's selling me my chopped cheese every morning while I'm on my way to train at the gym. I mean,
but
yeah,
it's not going to be a boring fight. One thing, he brings the fight.
Yeah,
he will come to fight. He won't stop stalking.
it's going to be a
Bivol.
good fight. I mean, and Bivol sometimes he looks bad. Like last time he I forgot that dude Craig something. I forgot who was
Craig Richards.
Craig Richards.
Yeah,
I was about to say Daniel Craig. Fucking James Bond. Yeah, Craig Richards. He looked horrible against Craig Richards. I mean, he almost looked
I
like
didn't
he was
see that fight.
You didn't see it?
No.
Yeah, he almost looked like he was about to like lose. He was just like letting Craig Richards like rough him up. It almost looked like Lomachenko versus Ortiz type of thing where he beat him, but he just did not look good. So if Bivol comes out looking not too good, he might end up losing.
So this is a pressure fighter versus a boxer.
Yeah, definitely.
I heard the scorecards were just bad, and it didn't reflect his performance against Richards. So he actually did look bad after all.
Yeah.
Scorecards were fine.
At least to me, I would say to check it out, but yeah, for me, he looked bad. Oh man.
Will there be any knockdowns? Does anyone predict? Does anyone predict any knockdowns or stoppages in this fight?
No, I don't.
Nah. I just don't think Ramirez is gonna land clean, man. Bivol is too slick. He might get hurt. He might get wobbled. But like I said, he does well at taking power shots. Joe Smith Jr. Say what you will, but he does crack. He does hit hard with that right hand, and he caught Bivol flush with that. He had Bivol seeing the other side for a second, seeing that konnichiwa, seeing Japanese, the other side of the world for a second, and Bivol didn't get knocked out. So I don't see Ramirez knocking him down.
You know, it's crazy. I'm still trying to figure out why did Joe Smith come out Arthur Better Beef the way he did. Like, he didn't even try to box him. He tried to brawl him.
I'll tell you why.
He tried to do what Hellenius did with.
I'll tell you why. Hey, you got Benavidez. You're gonna laugh, but he did a breakdown of what happened. He reckons after he got caught at the beginning, he just panicked and he just turned into just like brawler mode. He just lost his mind and panicked. That's why he did that, and it makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I saw that.
He just started coming forward just like a moron, trying to throw, just fucking unbelievable.
Because I was so confused.
If you notice, Joe Smith, like in the first few seconds, right, like the first few little exchanges there, he's doing well. He's controlling the line with his punches. He's setting some stuff up nicely, and then he gets hit like once, and then his eyes just like he's like a deer in the headlights. He starts like, oh my god, where am I?
Ridiculous,
He starts freaking running away like a chicken.
That shit got him knocked out. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man. She was ridiculous. So yeah,
What's
I
the
mean,
score? What? So you guys have got unanimous decision on
yeah,
Dimitri Bivol. Yeah?
yeah. I don't see it being a split. It's either gonna be unanimous or majority.
Whose show
Majority.
is it on? DAZN.
Yeah, yeah. The zone.
But Bivol's covered because he's with Eddie Hearn,
Oh hell yeah, Eddie Hearn.
so he can't get robbed on the scorecard there.
Yeah, he can't. He can't. He can never.
Was Zerto's with who? Oscar De La Hoya?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
but you know what Oscar De La Hoya said? He
What do
said,
you say?
"My guy wins. My guy wins. I want to do business with Canelo again." Wow.
I don't think Canelo wants to do business with Oscar De La Hoya.
Well, Oscar's gonna have the fighter that people are gonna say beat the man who beat the man.
Yeah, Canelo doesn't give a fuck about that.
Well, he better give a fuck about Zurdo because Zurdo's gonna be calling him out on his bullshit if he wins.
Yeah. People saying Zerto might run out of gas.
So, if Canelo takes one of the top guys at 168, will it matter?
Like who? John Ryder or some
I mean,
like some like dude who's like barely top 10, but he's like still like top
well,
10.
I think Zach Ryder would be a tune-up for him, but like a Benavidez or anybody.
Oh hell yeah! Like
Andrade.
as much as we disagree with Mirage, I think we can all agree on one thing. That fight is a good fight. That fight is probably the best fight at 168. Ramirez. Benavidez versus Canelo.
So it'd be more respectable with him taking that fight than taking a Zerto.
Yeah, for me at least. For me, Benavidez is better than Ramirez for Canelo.
And so if Ramirez beats Bivol, that's a bigger fight for Canelo.
Much bigger. It's probably bigger. That might be bigger in terms of sales or whatever. Because just the casuals, they do that triangle theory. Oh, Bivol beat Canelo, but then Ramirez beat Bivol. So if Canelo beats Ramirez, then he's back on top. He's back on top of the pyramid, baby. Number one, baby. Oh yeah, Mexico. That's the line of thought right there.
This guy's quite a bit bigger than Bivol, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's bigger.
Like 2 inches on him.
It's got more than that. That's like 3-4 inches. He's almost 6'3", I think.
Yeah.
Hey, Mirage, you think Canelo will fight Bivol again if he beats this guy?
I don't think Bivol wants to fight him, from what I've read.
Why?
And
because he got bigger things to do.
Because he's already beaten him, and he dominated, and he almost got robbed on the scorecards. So the writing's on the wall. Like he might risk losing. He doesn't want to risk losing, getting robbed. He's already beaten him. And I'm not even sure Canelo wants it, really, even though he's talking. It's not a smart fight.
I don't see Canelo winning that rematch against Bivol.
You don't think so?
Honestly, with the way that Bivol beat Canelo too, yeah. I actually understand where Mirage is coming from. Where I could see why he thinks Benavidez beats Canelo as well. Because Canelo does look at the problems that Caleb Plant even gave Canelo, man. Taller dude with longer range. The only thing Caleb Plant was missing was some pop to keep Canelo off of him, which Bivol had. Bivol, he's not the strongest dude on the planet. He's not gonna knock people out, but he's got some pop to keep you honest, just like Mayweather did. And you saw that in the fight against Canelo. He was whacking him with some combination that had his head flying back. Yeah. So imagine what Benavidez would do with that. I think he's around the same height.
To the body. Benavidez goes to the body as well. Bivol
goes to the body as well.
The body at all.
It's gonna slow him down and.
But did Canelo Alvarez come with the wrong game plan, trying to come in there thinking he's gonna knock out Bivol or hurt him?
Yeah, that's true. But it looks like that's the type of fighter he's turned into now.
Yeah.
He's gotten drunk with his power, and he reckons he's just gonna blast the guy out.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. Like he's trying to hit the arms and stuff, and then he says like, "Oh yeah, You see it, it's still landing on the arms though, so it should count. Nah, man, the dude is blocking all your punches. Like he Bevo was blocking nearly almost like I'd say like 80% of Canelo's punches. It was ridiculous, and Canelo was missing wide with those hooks. I think Canelo should take it back to what he did against Triple G2, where he threw a high volume of punches. He was placing his punches very crisply. He was counter punching instead of just flying in with a leaping crazy hook that misses by a country mile
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah, but the big question is he capable of doing that now at this age, at this weight division?
I don't think so.
Does he have the cardio to do it? Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think so, man.
That's when he looked his best, I think, in that rematch. Like, basically,
Yeah, he
he was
looked his
boxed. He
best.
actually boxed. He boxed well. It was variety. But lately, that's why I haven't been impressed at all. But people get carried away. I think, oh, he's improved so much. Blah blah
Nah, I
blah.
think
Just because
he's
he
regressed.
caught Caleb Plant. People forget. Caleb Plant, yeah, he did give him trouble. People forget that just because he caught him, they
Yeah,
ignore what happened before
he
that.
was pissed during that Caleb Plant fight. He
Yeah,
was like, "Fuck, why can't I hit him?" I mean,
yep.
like, dude, maybe because you keep throwing these freaking, you just jump in with the left hook from a mile away. Like, I mean, what do you expect is gonna happen, bro? Like, he's gonna see it coming. I mean, Canelo's still a good fighter. He's still a live dog, but I just don't see him. I just don't see him being Bevo. Uh, Better BF might be more winnable because at least Better BF is gonna be there to be. Better BF is gonna be there to be hit a bit more. But that's still a tough fight just because Better BF has so much power. So
Yeah, you guys can keep talking for a bit, yeah, while I have my
yeah,
sandwiches, then I'm gonna shut it down.
for
How many
sure, for sure.
sandwiches are you having,
Don't
Rapstar?
worry about my sandwiches, mate. You just, if you want to keep cooking, cook. If not, I'll shut it down. It's up to you.
Yo,
Let's cook.
should fighters call for the top guy or do a better job of promoting themselves by calling the people in position to fight the top guy?
I don't know, man. I feel like they need to call out the top guy, but they also need to put themselves in position. So, like, if you're calling out the top guy, like let's say you're Devin Haney and you want to fight Loma. Let's say before, right, when Devin Haney didn't have a belt or something, and Loma's at the top. What you do is if you're calling him out and he's not fighting you, you know what you do? You fight all the top 10 dudes in the division to the point where he has no room left to not fight you because everybody's going to see you fighting the best guys in the division. And then they're going to keep pestering him. Yo, this dude is knocking everybody out. And, eventually you're going to have to fight him. There's not going to be anyone else left to fight. You can't fight any of the top 10 guys because this dude has already beat them all. You got to fight him. So that's what I need to see more fighters do more of, and that's where we come we butt heads with Mirage because we're telling him, yo, if Benavidez wants the Canelo fight, yes, I understand, like he's in position, he shouldn't give up the mandatory at 168, right? But if Canelo really just insists on not fighting him at 168, what's stopping him from going up, beating Bevo, beating Better BF, or beating Callum Smith, who's coming up apparently at that weight class now? Beating up somebody up there and giving Canelo no way out, even at 175. Giving him no way, making it exceedingly obvious that he's just avoiding him. You got to do it. It sucks. It's unfair, but that's just the way the boxing is, man. You got to do what you got to do. You can't wait for anybody. Look at Charlo, waiting and waiting. And now his best win is going to be Derevianchenko. Jermall Charlo, I'm talking about, not Jermell. Jermell is the one who paved his own legacy. That's why he's respectable.
I don't know if Charlo's necessarily waiting. I think he just has too much going on outside of the ring to make anything happen.
Oh, now that's the case for now, for sure. He literally can't make anything happen at this
A
point.
lot of things interfering.
Yeah, but before, when you had Triple G and Canelo that quote unquote didn't want to fight him, right? Okay, they don't want to fight you, but you have Andrade, you have Murata who was there. Okay, they don't want to fight me. Okay, they don't want to fight you. Then you have Derevianchenko. Okay, Derevianchenko, I fought Derevianchenko. Okay, so what about the other top 10 guys? You have who is it? Munguia coming up. You have a bunch of people coming up, man. there's always going to be people. You got to leave no stone unturned. That's just the way. That's just the name of the game. You can't be fighting dudes ranked number 100, you know, and expect people to like to 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 defend you.
Yo, do you all think Jermell Charlo should be a pay-per-view star at this point?
I don't know. I don't know his numbers. I don't know his numbers.
I think he's is it 34-2? Hold on.
He sells well. Do you know? I bought his pay per view when he fought Jason Rosario and when Jamal fought Derevianchenko. That was a good ass card, man. Yeah.
He's 35-1-1.
Yeah, Jamal, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he performs in the ring, and I think his performances are good enough for pay-per-view status. And then that day, he's undisputed. He's
Yeah.
already undisputed. Like, he should be a star in the sport of boxing. Compared to his brother, he should be a star, a huge pay-per-view star. Like,
Yeah.
We think Earl Spencer. No, Jermell Charlo is somebody who should be a star.
Yeah. The question is he? I don't know. I don't know how his pay per views do. Like I said, I like Jamal Charlo. You know, he does his thing. But I don't know if like a lot of casuals know about him, if they like him, you know, if he's really that marketable. I don't know how his pay per views do. I don't know if he's gonna be out here doing like big numbers.
I think he's marketable. If you pair him with the right person, I mean, that
Yeah,
that Tony Harrison press conference, that was a war of words.
yeah. I mean, where do you see his career going though from here, man? Like he's undisputed. He beat Castano. He beat him convincingly too. There's no asterisks now. Like there's no asterisks on any of his fights. There's nobody that you could say, oh yeah, like well he kind of got a robbery here or something. Nah, he beat everybody convincingly. What? Where do you see him from here, man?
I don't know. I think he's reached his pinnacle at that division.
You think he should move up or just wait around for somebody to move up?
I don't even know if he can move up because his brother's still champ in that
That's
in the
true.
weight class above. He's not going to fight his brother.
That's true. That's true. Shit, man. I don't even
I
know.
guess as long as he still makes weight, I guess he can stay there. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he should be a pay-per-view star at the division. If he has all the titles, his brother's not moving anytime soon.
Yeah, he should
That
be. I mean,
that should be the cash cow 154.
oh yeah, he is because they always put his fights. They're always on pay per view, from what I see. They always got him on pay per view Showtime. Jamal Charlo, whenever he's fighting. Even when he was fighting Jason Rosario, that was a pay per view. I bought it. I think his two fights with Castano were both pay per views. I mean, that's just the Showtime model. They be doing pay per views a lot. So he's definitely on pay per view like every fight. Every time he fights, he's on pay per view. Whether a lot of people buy those pay per views, that's a different story. I don't know if a lot of people buy those pay per views.
Mm.
That's something maybe Rapstar or Punch would know more about. I think probably he doesn't sell, man, because I never hear anything about Jamal Charlo like, oh, he's a pay per view star. I
That's
never
crazy.
hear nothing like that.
That's
I hear
crazy.
that about like Tank, but
Tank can sell, but a Charlo can't sell.
yeah, that's sad, man. Jamal Charlo's undisputed. He actually put the work in. He reached the pinnacle, and he can't sell well. And meanwhile, you got Tank. He's fighting fucking Rolly Romano. He's fighting a Paul Blart Mall cop, and he's a pay per view star.
But is it the Mayweather cosign that helps Tank sell?
Probably because a lot of casuals they be seeing those videos on YouTube, like, oh yeah, Tank, this is Mayweather's prodigy. They just see Mayweather's prodigy, and they're like, oh yeah, he's the best. He's got to be the best right now. Just because they say that shit. It's like
So,
with Pacquiao. If they come out next tomorrow with some dude talking about, oh yeah, he's Pacquiao's prodigy. He's being trained by Pacquiao. People are gonna eat that shit up.
well, I think that's what they were trying to do. Something somewhat similar to Mark Messiah.
Yeah.
But I think Pacquiao, he almost had that happen with Pitbull.
Yeah.
Pitbull came in the same way Pacquiao came in.
Yeah.
What was it? Last minute replacement. Take
Yeah.
10, 12 rounds. Give him a good fight. Now he's in a position to get a rematch.
Yeah. I can't wait for that. I really hope that does happen because Pitbull's pretty good.
Bro, Pitbull is an exciting fighter.
Yeah. I hope that, man. I kind of hope he gets that Haney fight eventually
I would love to see that fight.
because that would be crazy. Because oh man, because Pitbull's got the power, and we know like Devin Haney, like he's skilled or whatever, but power is the one thing that he has trouble dealing with sometimes, and Pitbull's got a hell of a lot of power. So if he's able to beat him, that'll shut a lot of people up, and if he's not able to beat him, it'll make for a crazy upset, crazy knockout. But I don't know, man. Lightweight, I want to see that.
If Pitbull was to fight Haney, Pitbull would do what George Kambosos was supposed to do in the first fight.
And what's that?
Just come in and, you know what I'm saying, take the chance. And I don't think Devin can stop it.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, look at what happened with Linares. This is why I get pissed, bro, because Linares, he literally was sleeping the whole fight. He's just there standing and letting Devin Haney wail on him. And then Devin Haney, I forgot what he did. He like hit him on the back of the head or hit him in the nuts or something. And Linares got pissed. And he let off a combination, like a 3 to 4 punch combination. And he almost put this dude, Devin Haney, 6 feet under. He had this man walking like the spaghetti noodle man back to his corner. Devin Haney was about to cry to his daddy, "Daddy, please save me. Jump in the ring for me." All for what? When just because Linares decided to freaking wake up and throw some actual punches. And then you know what happens after that? Linares goes back to sleep. It's like as if nothing happened. He starts throwing a little jab here, a little bit. Man, you got to get in there, bro. And so that's the thing. Isaac Cruz, I could see what you're saying. He could turn it on immediately, and he's probably not gonna relent, man. He's not gonna let up like Linares did.
But does Devin's size and length play an advantage?
Hell yeah, bro. And just his style too, because regardless of what I think, like I don't like his style. I think he ducks below the waist. That's illegal. He holds to the body excessively. That's illegal. But at the end of the day, it's a part of boxing. And if you're a boxer, at the end of the day, you're not gonna be in the middle of the boxing ring being like, "Oh, this is illegal. Let's talk about it." No, you got to just deal with it at that point. And will Isaac Cruz be able to deal with the clinches? I don't know. And the ducking below the head, not ducking below the waist, because that's a big thing too. If you duck below the waist, you take away all targets from your opponent. They literally can't hit you.
Isaac Cruz has a bunch of good fights. I would love to see Isaac Cruz versus Lomachenko.
Oh, that would be crazy. Yeah, that would be crazy.
I think that's a great matchup for Lomachenko.
Yeah, yeah. I think he beats. I think Loma probably beats Cruz just because. To beat Loma, you had to have a lot of volume, and you had to have a lot of you had to punch in between his punches. You got to punch before he punches, right? Kind of like well, what Lopez did to him, right? Like every time Lomachenko would try to put his weight on his front foot, just jab immediately, hard jab, step jab, don't let him get into that position. You got to punish him in all those positions. I mean, same thing Joshua tried to do to Usyk, but he gassed out, so he couldn't really implement it.
I don't know if Lomachenko has the power to keep Isaac Cruz off though.
Yeah, nah, he's not hurting Isaac Cruz. Bro, you seen his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle head?
Bro, he has no neck.
He has no neck,
He has
bro.
no neck. Like his head sits on his shoulders, so it's like,
Hey yo. Yeah, he can't hurt him. I don't think so. I don't know, man. I'm disappointed in Comey though. I heard he didn't look good in his last fight.
Did I see Richard Cummings? I think I did.
I don't even remember who he fought, bro. I think it was Pedraza or something. I think he fought Pedraza.
Yeah.
Didn't look too good.
That was on ESPN.
Yeah. Comey's got a lot of skills. He's underrated, but I don't know. Sometimes he be stupid. It's like Linares, man. These guys got skills, and then you talk them up, and then 2 seconds later they're out here getting knocked out by fucking some dude who's works as a Sephora or some shit, selling my girl makeup. Like, are you kidding me? Freaking making me look like a fool.
Yeah, man. Hey, respect to you guys, man. Keeping it cooking out here, bro. But
Yeah, for sure.
we're definitely gonna be catching you guys on the next one. And
Yeah.
and we got a fight weekend, so we got a lot to chop it up about, man. Let's see what Errol Spence comes out with soon. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But until then, you know, we're talking about boxers becoming businessmen, and the fans are happy with it. So let's get happy with all the boxers making a lot of money.
Damn right.
Yeah, man. I'll catch you guys on the next live, bro.
Catch you on the next live, Rapstar. Thanks for having us on, man.
Yo, peace.
Peace.